So this is the syllabus. So which are you covered? Well, I definitely know you have covered corporate governance.
Yeah, yeah.
That I can remember, right? Then lending to corporate customers, no? Company Act covered, no?
Corporate.
Money laundering, no? No. Risk management, financial market, no? Covered, I think. Okay, doesn't matter. So
Ah, yeah,
it's,
this one I think it's.
yeah. Okay, don't worry. So then, what I'm going to discuss with you, managing relationship, right? That's maybe around 16 hours, but we try to finish for 3 days, right?
Then,
Uh,
issue
pardon?
analysis or anything?
Yeah,
Within this scope? It
you
is
didn't
like,
get it. Not discussed.
no.
I think measuring performance. I think you're
Ah,
going to discuss on the ratio analysis, how to read the annual reports as well as these balance sheet, things like that. I think that is covered under measuring performance. Right. I think what Mr. Nawaz has done last week, what
yeah,
we have
that was one
recovery, securities,
bonds and then commercial papers.
uh, the instruments, financial instrument basically. Uh, right. Okay. So collaterals have not done. Not sure. The securities. No? That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay. So I don't want to discuss others. We will cover it. I thought we have another only one like one area to be covered. Right. Doesn't matter. So what I am going to discuss is something totally different. What you have learned up to now. Something related to little bit of marketing as well. Right. Basically, and usually we higher diploma in credit management and all executive diploma in management, finance management, all we did it through online, right? And that's good. But then I knew usually some just switch on and they go some other place, and suddenly we heard some noises, daughters and uh, fathers had come in and interfering. So good. You also sleep by that time, thinking of going to look at it again. You never look at it, right? So, but always have a physical plus online as well. We don't know whether you understood or not. So we have a lot of problem with DABF and IABF. Okay, but when you see lot of people are not logging, but then when you go through these the one what you call that through recorded version, there is some 500 or 500, 600 people I watch. I don't know. The same guy who is watching us. But the class may be around 30 odds. But when you look at it from the in the recorded versions, so there may be around 500 students, but watch that one. That's also good one way. Right. So now it's usually we are going to have a break somewhere in 3:15, and that is how we are doing now. Right, we'll do. So this basically this module basically we are going to discuss with the, how importantly managing profitable customers, right? Importance of profitability, profitably managing customers and customer relationships. We are basically discussing relationship in the present competitive environment, right? And basically, we are talking about something is related to marketing, right? Not fully marketing. Something is relating to marketing and how managing customers profitably, how it is important for today's banks. That's the module we are going to cover. Right. So now, in your syllabus, the first area we are going to cover something. This is your syllabus, right? So which we gave to us. what is CRM and how important is the CRM and components of CRM, and then we are going to discuss about how to develop CRM strategies and the role of CRM in business strategy. Right, these are the areas we are going to cover, but we may going to learn more than this, right, with some special reference to CRM. So, okay, now what is the ultimate goal of a bank or firm? What do you think? Or an organization, bank? What is the ultimate goal of a firm or your bank? Or what do you think? Huh? What do you think is your bank goals? Take one. What do you think? Sorry, guys, first. You're working in the bank. Which bank? Mutual fund, obviously. Yeah. This lady is still there. They start. Huh? Yeah. So you joined recently. Right? Huh? So, so, you're from Commission. So you're from, sorry, I didn't know, right? Commission. So, all I know is- so all is there commercial like you bank also there. Instead of Ranguti who joined there? She? Ranguti left to union no? Now who came to that position? No, nobody. They are not filled that post. Right. Okay, so what is the firm? What is your ultimate objective for any organization? What do you think? So it's bottom line is of course whether it's a government institution or private sector organization, end of the day, so nobody is expecting the bottom line because that's the considered by lot of stakeholders, right? Okay, now how you are going to achieve this goal? Right? How are you going to achieve your objective or goal in that sense? Right? But you're going to look at it, fulfill customer needs, right? You need to fulfill the customers, no? Their financial needs, financial requirements and things like that. Then satisfy what? What do you think? You need to satisfy entire your customer base or not? So you are dealing with the customers. So in Sri Lanka we have around 22 million. So out of that, how many millions you are working with your commission? Yeah, how many? Say that? Three, four. Yeah. But there are so many customers, but actively not involve everybody, you know. Now in this stage they have around 15 million or so, 16 million, but I think according to Diploma, actively involved, I mean, active customers are maybe around 5, 6. Even for that, not for commercial, even for commercial, maybe 3, 4. No, not, there may be more customers. You know, in Sri Lanka, we had around 80% uh, people in Sri Lanka who is having some sort of account. And a lot of customers are having multiple, not 5 to 1, right? So that's the latest survey done by EFSC. So Sri Lanka is around more than 80 more than 85% having some sort of account. So that means the penetration for banking is good in Sri Lanka, right? So what is the density of Sri Lanka, banking density in Sri Lanka? How many? What is the banking? You know what is density? Banking density, you know? Banking density mean, so if you take 100,000 of people, how many branches for those guys? Let's say 100,000 people, how many branches? How many branches? Not banks, right? How many branches for 100,000 people you say that? How much you think? What you know the chart means that's it. Huh? How much? The idea? Huh? No, 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 not quite. Huh? No, no, it's more than that. So we need to know all these things, so we need to know our certain information also, no? That is a bank density in Sri Lanka. Yeah, not that. It's around 18%. That means 18 branch. So what do you think is too much or too big or too small? So like, branches da, shaka da, it's too much to some extent, right? So that is why now we have how many finance companies in Sri Lanka? So how many banks in Sri Lanka? So I'm just giving you some idea about, right? So you, 26 sorts, no? Right now, there are one bank, Axis Bank, so requesting. I say bank is close the operation, but but then Axis Bank, Indian Bank also requesting for terminating. And then there may be, I think, you was not your Habib Bank is asking, but some more banks are working. But 26, how many finance companies in Sri Lanka? No idea. Around 39 now with this removing of this the finance and the Swarna Mahal and ETI related side. So we had around 39 finance companies and recently I read is Abbas Finance going to take over by stop launching, good, stop launching. But still not done, but the negotiation is still in place. So you think that finance companies is also a little high in Sri Lanka? I'm looking to banking and finance, right? So now central bank is having a problem. Central bank is having they're not in a position to. I mean, they are not maintaining the proper required capital adequacy or capital, and there are some problem in the liquidity. So now central bank is are looking for again what consolidation, right? Now that was there with the previous government. Then what happened with the Yapal when they come, when the Ravi was the minister, it was stopped. No, no, they said, no, 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 want to consolidate, leave as it is. But now again, they are going to looking for consolidation. In Sri Lanka, too much, right? So what is consolidating mean? Basically, um, like in India, consolidation is we have a 39 sort finance companies. We are trying to make it to small unit, some bigger size, maybe four. Not now. You must be knowing merging and acquisition, right? You know what is merging and acquisition? You are not there. So what is merging mean? Merging mean joining two equal size organizations together. Acquisition means you're going to take over one organization, right? So, but this consolidation is some sort of a merging, but not take one organization. There are small four, five, three finance companies get together and form one unit. That is why it's not a, it's a some sort of a merging, but it is not a merging per se, right? It is what is that is why we call it as a consolidation. Consolidation means basically meet four, five, six finance companies, they get together and take a one unit and form. Why is that? Why is that? Why we need to have a consolidation? Come, I think better you can come here. Why you think we are discussing? So just to just give you some introduction, which kind of fetching, right? So I just see. Uh, fetching. Right, good. Okay, now result from HLD good, right? So, so we are discussing why organization, what is the main objective of organization. Why we are discussing, about the Sri Lankan banking industry situation, right? Very, very briefly. So why consolidation, as I told you, because now we have a problem now. according to the central bank, even though they have not disclosed, there are around 21, 22 out of these 39 finance companies still they are struggling to maintain their adequate capital. Now, in the collapse of one finance organization, it's a knock-on effect effectively. What is the risk we are going to face if one organization is collapsed? What is this? Systemic risk, right? That in the continuous impact, right? So people will just move into all the banks. So banks are good, the finance companies have a problem, right? So nobody want to collapse this entire Sri Lankan finance company. How many people are working? What is the? How many people are working in Sri Lankan banks and financial industry? You think? I'm just saying, I wanted to, just to give you an idea. How many people are employed in the banking sector? For that kind of finance sector? How much is Sri Lankan population? Right? You are one of them. Right? How many people are working in the banking sector? Right? It's around 54,000 to 55,000 banking sector. Maybe around 5, not 5,000, maybe around 3,000 on the financial sector, even for 44,000, right? So, I mean, 5,000 jobs going to lose, right? It's not so easy good. It's not a good thing for a country, and also the image of the country. Now, one factor we have downgraded, Moody has downgraded Sri Lanka to civil C level, simple A what, but stable, but too notch. No, what are you facing? Everybody is working in the trade finance in your bank. Any of you are working in the trade finance section? No. So at the moment, even HNB, right? We have HNB is a problem now. Why we open an LC? Now these people are little reluctant to open LC. They may charge extra penalty, right? Extra insurance or something. So that is your profits going to go up. I mean, go down, and then you can't pass to the customers also. So all profits get impacted, right? Even though we won't feel it, right? And also we need to pay for 1 million maybe for 5th October, 1 billion US dollar. Right. So from now, see, like we don't have money. So where we are going to put this money? From where we want to maintain that our credit worthiness as a country, right? So from where we are going to get the money? Our reserves. Reserves is now 6.7, has come to 1. All this money won't come. A lot of problems. So budget may have a difficult budget for banks. Banks. So they try to get something out from you all, no way to get it back. Okay, now just tell you what is happening in Sri Lanka at the moment, right? So therefore profits play an important role. Right now, the financial sector, come back again to the finance companies. Now the liquidity companies have some problem. That is why they're going for consolidation. So now here and so usually now even for these not sector and finance, the single finance companies also tend to come up with a capital augmentation plan. You know what you mean by augmentation plan? Now, first, if you in the central bank found you are not sounding capital, so they must ask you to, before you are cancelling, come up with an augmentation plan, capital augmentation plan. That means you need to find out anybody who can infuse capital. So otherwise they can cancel according to the Finance Act. Now that is what they given this PTI and Swarnaval, they was given time. So we try to find a partner with fairly and then the government pressure, and that is why they will uh, cancel the license. Now the issue is without cancelling, so they can't release the fund, the deficit insurance fund. So first you need to cancel, according to the law in the business insurance and liquidity department, and you need to cancel the license. Then only you can give that 600,000. Here. So that's a law. So you know what is the deposit insurance and liquidity fund, no? That is every person you pay per person per customer, per person per institution 600,000. No, under liquidity support scheme under deposit insurance. You are aware now that deposit insurance? Huh? No? Sure. So every bank need to pay to the central bank based on your deposit base a certain amount as a premium to build up that uh, deposit and liquidity fund. Right? Now, suppose your bank is maintaining more than 14% of capital adequacy ratio from your total deposits, you need to pay 0.1% as an annual percentage. You have to pay it quarterly. Every quarter you need to pay to the central bank for that maintaining that liquidity fund. Right? So if the bank is having less than 14% capital adequacy ratio, you need to pay 0.125% of your total deposit base. Suppose if you have 100 million deposit base, 0.125 you need to pay to the central bank to deposit uh, insurance, right? Now all the finance companies need to pay 0.15, right? Monthly, they need to pay monthly. But the banks was given to pay quarterly, but finance companies was given to pay only on 1 month. And if you are not paying within 1 month at the end of that particular quarter, so you are charged penalties by the central bank, that is prevailing treasury bond price plus 1%. So that is how the fund is created by the central bank. And now this fund is under the custody of bank supervision department. Now they have taken that activity out from the directors of bank supervision, and they form a separate department in central bank that is called resettlement and resolution department or something. Like a new department. So now that money go to that department. So from there only they get 600,000, right? So that's two safeguard. And now this fund this fund central bank using for provide liquidity to the market. If you need any loan from central bank, you can get a loan from there. Of course, with the interest, right? So that's a, but you don't want to be all funds, all deposits, right? There are some deposits are excluded from calculation of ratio, right? Okay, now, so then that fund also thinking the moment you pay customers, the fund get decrease, right? So that is why central bank don't want to any finance company comes out. Now, Singapore, right? Also now given 6 months come up with augmentation. Like that, there are more companies. So rather than doing a notice to all these finance companies, so now what central bank is looking to basically consider, right? To have only maybe then there is a finance companies. How many finance companies in this case? There may be 8, 9 finance companies. They are more stronger, right? But I don't know whether individual owners of that particular organization are willing to do that. But central bank, there is a thing called statutory consolidation. So central bank all the rights to merge. That is a statutory right of the central bank. So they can force to unless you come up with adequate fund, otherwise you are compelled to merge. We call the consolidation. Okay. So these are the things happening in the market today, in the financial market today. In that scenario, earning of profit is a huge trend. That's what I'm just telling you, right? Making profit. I will explain to you a little later on. Sri Lankan profits how with the banks are shared later on, right, with some actual figure. Now, so in order to earn profits, you need to satisfy, uh, take one hand out, take one hand, right? So you need to satisfy all customers. Now coming back to our subject, right? Now now we have, I told you, we have all banks are having enough customers. Now all customers are profitable. Are we going to satisfy all customers? That's the issue, no? Right? Are we going to satisfy all our existing customers? That's what we learn from marketing. We need to satisfy our existing customers and all customers. Now, are we going to satisfy all our customers? Now, that's the question one. So, we are going to discuss later on how you consider that significantly important customers. How to identify, right? So, those things we are going to touch little later on today. Type of, right? And also build long-term relationship with customers, right? Okay, so if you really look at it from your databases, especially for your savings account databases, right? How many account bases, how many people you are having less than 1,000 or 2,000 in your branch, for that matter for your bank, right? How many things from your say your savings database, savings account database? What is the question? How much you have in the saving balance, saving account base? How much you have in balance? Say that. 50 million. That is 1,000. 2,000. So that is your return on 2,000. Right? So how much of your total saving portfolio, total value of your total, how much you think you are representing? Now these are the things you need to look at it from your branch also. If you're working in a branch, just look at it, take the portfolio, you call CASA or something, right? What is the CASA percentage? Current account savings, right? What is the percentage? Average is 30%, yes, correct. But if you take your branch, how much? How much you think? Right? If you really analyze, then you go to the branch and see how many customers in that saving group. 58 to 60% of your savings account holders are having less than 2,000. You really look at it, you will think, okay, the movie that happy Parano, you feel it, you use it, so I will maintain a system and follow it up, parkings, right? It's common for all banks. It's common for all banks, right? But if you take the number wise, is good. So that is why we are not also bothered. Those money will remain no whatever said, right? But if you really look at it, all banks are there. Why? Because we go house to house and open the accounts and we didn't put mono and come we are there, they were gone in and they are doing it. Corona is there, I don't know who applied so we also like insurance. Insurance guy also like that, insurance want free premium only. He was who? Those are the guy. The guy he was nuts, that money is lying with us. The hard money, like that is why we are not bothered. Right? So we also say, if you really look at it, so therefore, where are we going to look after all customers? Right. So there's a huge issue faced by the now recently we made Kaudapay Secretary, Secretary to the President, regarding all government banks and banks, right? So, so we have released enough money and we found that SRR for 5 to 2 and reduced the policy rate from 6.5 or the 7.5 to 4.5, and the deposit rates and lending rates and open market operations we reduce and that we release around 500 billion. around 300, 400, around 350, 400 billion released to the market. Now, have you given enough loans to those guys? So that's around 80,000, 90 million or something out of 400 in the liquidity. But all the banks in Sri Lanka has given around maximum of 100. Right? And those who got also benefited the lower level existing customers. So that is what he did. And here, even අපේ හොඳට වැඩ කරන අසවසවල අපි fair enough. Right? There are issues on that. Okay. So that means we are still treating some segment of our customers. You have no 4% working capital. No, you really look at it, we have given to our normal customers. No? So your 4% you are not given to new customers. Majority of given to existing customers. Customers, you don't know anything, but you have to look after other area, no? Right? So that is what they are blaming always banks. So you are not fulfilling your job here. In the time they want tax on the tax you are getting right. Okay, we wait and see. Right. Okay, next one. So maximize profit. So these are the things that we are expecting, right? Now, okay, here understood, right? So how we are going to earn profits. So today change of bank operating environment. So bank environment today is change, right? The banking environment of change. Now that's what I told you. So we are living in a highly turbulent market, and more regulations are coming up. Now, the central bank going to come up with. I don't know whether this year they are going to introduce. So they are going to totally relegate the existing banking at personal. I don't know, but that's the number. It's a banking act really in Sri Lanka. So we are all controlling. Voilà. But I think I'm not going what? You know that company sector. I would refer to the banking. What is the banking? We are all confined section 77, 79. How boom that thing up there? 30 of 1988. So that's the banking act. Now the central bank is going to totally demolish or eradicate that bank. They're going to come up with total new banking act. Not any amendments other than either constitution amendment is how many times our bank act amended? How many now? From 1980, how many times our bank act amended? 5 to 6 times. Our constitution how many times we amended? How many times? 90. So how we can bank with that money? That can't. I got the real money without the who did it? Right. They can not consider this service again. We are not the so banking act was amended for 5 to 6 times. But that's why they bought new things. Right? Now, so they will totally begin them. They will tell Alutmu Dana because Sanso that can you Alut? Consideration again. They will give banking, so they will come. Like I think they were supposed to introduce end of this year. Maybe due to these prevailing conditions, they may be postponed. Sometimes they will come end of the year, maybe definitely it will come next year. So they have a totally new act. So we can forget all the acts. That's also good. So it's a fresh act, right? So next year, most of the end of this year, I don't think now. Definitely next year, because they are going to they want to concentrate more concentration on corporate governance. They are going to come up with a lot of areas for fit and proper. And now categorizations of banks. But how Sri Lankan banks are categorized now? Based on what at the moment? Just how your banks are categorized. Central bank. What's the base? Not capital. Asset base, right? So Sri Lankan banks are categorized based on asset. Is it small bank, medium banks, and large bank. Now, large banks mean about 500 billion asset base. Medium mean 200 to 500. And less than 200 billion we call small banks. So how many large banks we have in about 500 in Sri Lanka? You take Bank of Ceylon having around 2 trillion, and then People's Bank is having around 1.7 trillion, right? Then commercial also having 1.5, 1.7, 8, not that, maybe 1.7. You are less than the Bank of Ceylon, People's Bank. People's Bank, no, you are overtaken. I'm not sure, but no.
Is that bankruptcy?
People's Bank, no. People's Bank is around 1.89, probably 1.76. But maybe you're close. Then you, with the next one is NSB is around 1.4, and then comes the HNB around 1.3. Who is the bank who reached 1 trillion recently? Anybody seen that bank? I never heard that bank yet. Recently, 2 months back, one bank has joined 1 trillion. What is that bank in Sri Lanka? Huh? Sampat from here? No. The Sampat has recently reached 1 trillion. So all now trillion banks, right? All banks are, I think it's around 7 banks, above 500. And there's a middle band between 200 to 500. There are some which NTB around 300 lots billion, NDB around 300 billions. Like that, there are 5 bands in that frame, and majority of bands are less than 200, around 20 lots bands, right? So the bank also having less than 200 billion, and they're going to relook at it, this classifications of banks. And they're going to relook at it, the classifications of banks based on 4 areas like asset, added capital, and equity returns. Now they have worked it out. Earlier we had 14%, now that they have taken out that, they said they have had some buffers to your capital and equity ratio. And they say bucket 1, bucket 2, bucket 3, things like that. 14 plus 2% the capital conservation buffer. And like that, they said the commercial and Bank of Ceylon is bucket 2, right? Bucket 2 category. Bucket 1 category. Bucket 2 category is HNB and Papers Bank. All others are, because we don't have a bucket 3 branches, right? And we don't have Sri Lanka. So all other banks are based on less than that, right? So therefore, they need to maintain only 12.5% of capital adequacy ratio. All other banks for 12.5, the name say 14 and 13.5. Now, because of this concession during the corona, so the central bank also reduced 14 to 13.5 and other one to 12%. So now you need to maintain capital adequacy of 12% at the moment, right? So all things they are going to revise the categorizations of the system, right? And special attention to the fit and proper corporate governance. They are going to look at it. Appointment of board of directors to the organization, and they are fit and proper issues. And then they are going to look at it some more other factors like the compositions of the board. And what sort of level of education they need, and alternative directors, independent directors, and things like that. They are going to look at it, right? And also they are going to look at the cooling off period, impact the guy who joined here and move another organization. Now, take for example, some people from People's Bank and not People's Bank come from Pan Asia, joined in BB, and one person from joined Cargill, and those CEOs are the guys who know the what, know the strategic plan of an organization. They know what we are going to do. Other people who know we are going to do this. Now suddenly he resigned and joined another bank. And now, suppose a guy who's having a similar asset base of similar industry, because size thingy bank, who's even CEO, joined another same bank, another bank. Now, what he knows his immediate competitors, all the strategies they are going to do. Now, this bugger, this CEO now adjusting all and come up with counter attack, It's rather unfair, no? In that case, that is why they are going to introduce a cooling off period. So you can't just resign from this bank and can join Y bank. So they have to give it at least now and only 6 months. But that also too strong. They're going to further increase. So that's also good. Not only for CEOs, all key personnel. Right? So that's also good. Otherwise, you see some days, you saw some below has resigned and joined A bank, joined B bank, joined C bank, joined D bank, and he knows every strategies they are going to do. So he go to the competitor and try to address other banks' strategies. Right? So those things you need to know. Okay, so so what I'm telling is we are facing banking operating environment very much today, basically changing, right? And not only them, the customers also changing, right? Customers are moving from, they are more educated now, more sophisticated, they are more techno savvy. What else? They are going for more on digital now, and then they may basically improving contextual experience. That means they move for more. They're expecting more transparency, right? They're expecting more solution now, not like those days now. And also the banks also, as I told you, more number, more competition, cutting each other, right? All things are taking place at the moment in the banking industry. You see, now today we have a brutal competition. No? You know what you mean, a brutal competition. No? Mahatma Gandhi died. Right? So we are entering into that. Now say I tell you a basic example. Now you see how good we are. How many of you are? I know tell you is telling like this now. So good thing. Now how many of your days we are telling? So bring all the loans. If you have a credit card balances with another bank, please come to us. I give you a 14. I will take it up all these interest rates. Bring my loan, housing loan from this bank to my bank. I will look after you. You also everybody's doing now. Now, rather than finding a new customer, we are trying to get the other one's customer to us. So that is brutal, right? So what other guys do here? Put some penalty. If you are going to take your money out from us, put a huge penalty. Make it uncomfortable. Brand switching not to be taken place. Right? I can remember actually also carried out something. ඕනෑම ලෝන් එකක් ගේන්න අපි ගාවට අපි දෙන්න අපි ගන්න අපි අද ලෝන් එකක් දෙන්න. අපි මේ දෙන්න කරන්නේ. කොහොමද එච්චරද? හරි? It is busy. Right.
Take consideration.
Yeah, something like they come up with, no? I mean, it's okay. So you say the devotees, accounts come, so I will take transfer for redemption of housing loan. Some bank will go behind the customer, conveys, get all the documents cleared from from the local authorities and all sort of headache. Ultimately give a loan, and that brother is saying, I'll give you 10%. Now, X bank don't want to do anything. Why? That particular X bank is evaluated you just to give you a credit loan only. Now, one bank has done good that one for, sorry for telling you, for Bank of Ceylon also done for me. Right? But as it is, we give you a level now, not now. 30%, at time 15% only. This is we bring phone in article. So don't worry about you have phone in the other bank, but I'll give you a 30. Now they put some people. Okay, and suppose you are phone article at 14% in X bank, and they come with you and give the money, redeem, and he took the article and put it to his bank. That phoning you can't put anything, you can't put penalty for phoning. Housing loan, yes you can. But for phoning you can't put the higher money, I said no. Right? So I have phone article with you for say 16%. Right? I'll give you 13%. Never could it become both kind of ඔබගේ රත්තරන් සින්න වෙන්නේ යනවාද කියන්න මට මං ඉන්නවා කියලා. මොකද කරන්නේ? ඒක අරන් උගයන්න ඕනේ. Same thing bank also did officially. Why not? Get the media. Why not for the media? Same thing we also did. Let the people so we all answer good. That text what I'm telling is now change of customer. I mean, banks also change, customer also change. That's what, right? So therefore, now because of the customers also demanding, more educated, more savvy, so we can't now do cheap with customers also, right? So transaction marketing or transaction business, once and for all business, right, are now moving from because of to relationship business. Right now we can't just ask them to go away. Right now, all before 1977, right before 1977 also, what we have done. So we have only limited banks are there. So we have the monopolies. What is the bank financial market? What sort of market today? What sort of market we are facing? I mean, you learn perfect competition. You not monopoly. You learn equal stake, we learn some market structures. Look, what is the Sri Lankan bank's market? I just little while gave you what sort of market they operate. So what is the Sri Lankan banking market? Perfect competition or monopolist marketing or a market or oligopolistic market or what is that? What is the Sri Lankan financial market? That means, now I'll just give you what you perfect competition can equal size companies, banks are. We don't have equal size, no? Only few are large, right? And more number of small banks. Now, you know, exact 7 banks which I told you about 500 billion are having the asset base of Sri Lanka's customers base of about 70%. Now, what is the total asset base in Sri Lanka in the financial market? Is around 20.2 trillion. The total asset base in Sri Lanka finance market, right? Around 20.2 trillion. Now, from that 20.2 trillion, 65% is belong to those 7 banks. MSB, HMB, Bank of Ceylon, people who are happy to I see that market as a basic theme. So, what is the market? Few players, few larger players with smaller players. So, therefore, what we call single market, Katipayadikari Venaduka. We call oligopolistic market. The ticket, only ticket than They are controlling, but there are so many players in the market. So in that sense also now, very difficult. Now customers are more demanding. So therefore, you cannot go for one and for a transaction. So we are moving from transactional to relationship business because of this competition. Right? Understood? Right? Okay. So because of this fighting. So now more customers, many organizations are now focusing on basically more sustainable long-term approach, profitable and value creations. Now today customers are buying values, right? Okay. So customers are today are buying values. Every time organizations try to give values to the customer, right? Okay. So today we are moving from value-driven businesses. Customers are expecting more value from us. Even for when you go for open up a savings account, but they look at it. What are the other things you are going to give? They not on the savings, right? You don't look at only this interest rate, right? They look at it. What are the other things you are going to give me apart from the savings, right? That's everybody's look at it. So we are, when we learn about product, we are trying to add values to your products, layers. That is sometimes we call augmenting the valuation, the final layer. Right? Okay, so we from that we need to look at the risk factor as well as the reward factor. So what I am going to give, and we are going to look at it, the risk aspect from that point of view. So what do you mean by a good bank? Now say, what do you mean by a good bank? What question to answer, right? What does that mean? What do you mean by good bank? So, for customers point of view, what do you good bank? Now, what do you mean by a good bank and from the customer's point of view? Huh? Okay, yeah, just talking about what do you mean by a good bank from customer's point of view? Well, so we spoken about all these many things. What is, I mean, look at it, what they are worrying. Not interest rate, ये आपको साली दिख है तो हम बोल रहा है तो we are looking at it for the liquidity version of Dubai, nothing else, no? Right? From the management point of view, the administrative point of view, the regulator's point of view, what do you mean by a good bank for them? So how you are managing your risk, right? That is why we have a chief risk officer. That is why we have integrated risk management, support committees. All things we have to look at it, CRO coming to the scene, right? And what tax CRO coming to the scene? And what tax the compliance officer coming to the scene in Sri Lanka? What are the act prevailing in Sri Lanka which insisted all the banks to appoint chief risk officer and the compliance officer? Earlier we don't have a chief risk officer, compliance officer. When we joined back, we never heard, no? Now suddenly there's a importance come up because after the financial crisis and all, people are talk about what chief risk officer, compliance officer, no? They become a big guys now, no? Oh my God, don't let that in there. Please. अपनी ऑपरेशन करा नहीं only thing that I risk correct board එක GM CEO දාන risk officer risk GM ට මේ loan එක දෙන්න ඕන නැත්නම් දාන්නේ කවද පිටට risk officer ලා what do you think about what do you think CRO can you give this loan you think well mood කරලා අකමැති වගේ no can't ඉවරයි what is it risk officer credit committee the role played by CEO, CRO, CEO and risk CRO, right? බලලා කියන්නේ ඕන අපිට team campaign එකක් පුත් දෙන්න. That is why you have the operation chief operating officer is to fight that. Yeah, I'll take the responsibility. You just tell we have a risk. But remember, the issue is in Sri Lankan banks here, uh, operational guys are not perform well. Yes, very sharp. So you are here to tell the risk only. We are here to give loans. If you move giving the loan, then you are running your own. What is the purpose of having operation guys? So this bank is saying loan you, so I don't think I don't loan nothing they have you. So this is always telling something you can do nothing. That's also correct. So we as operation guys, we need to find it out why we need. Right? Okay. Now that is financial transaction reporting only. Use two positions first. It goes to establishing the matrix. Right? Are you aware of that? Right. Okay. Now, the good bank being from the regulator's point of view, the bank who manage the risk from their point. That's also correct. Right? Okay. Now, that is why I'm telling you we have to business functions need to carry out rewarding and Chris. By reward me, so I'll give you a more credits, right? The income. Then you need to look at the risk factor because he may not pay you. That is the thing. So how you manage the customer then? Right? The relationships comes. Right. Now think about current account holder. Now what you look at it from current account? Are you giving to all the current account holders you are giving ODs? Huh? Just because you have a current account, are you giving ODs? Huh? Are you giving? I'm just asking you. No. So why are you giving it? On what basis? No, that's my point. So all the current account holders, are you giving ODs facilities? No. Right? But he's supposed to take you. To whom you are giving it? What sort of customers you are giving ODs? All current account holders you are not giving. So then what you are looking at it? The relationship. You look at it, how good that customer, what is the relationship you are having with this customer. On that only you can give. Because OD is our right. FD is because it is customer. Right? The only thing, customer requesting us to give that money back to me, who has deposited the money, we have to completely pay. Demand on demand by the customer. For his deposits. But as far as OD is concerned, on demand you have to pay. That is only weapon. Right? Using the two fact. Savings are on demand from the customer's point of view. Customer no enrolled. දැන් මට දැක්කල්ලි නෑ. ඒ වගේ හැම ඉස්සරද මම මාස දවස් 7කට කලින් නම් දෙන්න ඕනේ. Now you can't tell if the customers ask, even for FT you need to pay. But you can charge penalties, but you have to pay. At least capital. Right? Anytime, if the customer asks money in his deposit, you have to pay. That is why liquidity is coming to the sea. That is why they are bothered about money. Money you are owner has no matter in only a pass at the park. The money now is that is what you are ordering. Right? Same way, banks had all the rights to take. Mama do the liability was bank. That was not doing it. That is OD's right, but not other loans, right? So therefore, ODs we are giving based on the relationship. For loan, we are giving to everybody. Some sort of if you fulfill his requirement, we give loans, no? But OD not necessarily. Even though you have all the capacity, all the 7Cs or 6Cs or Campri or whatever you call it, you give, no? But OD, you can say, no, I don't give you. That is the bank's right. Right? But OD we are giving for what? Based on the relationship. So that is why the relationship they have important. Right? Okay. Now, so this relationship management concept evolved in 1960s. So up to that point, we move for a single transaction that is called transactional relationship. Transaction relation. Now this from to a relationship came is relationship management came in 1960. Now that is the area where we have some sort of a binding, right? So then there may be a lot of theories involving in this relationship management era, right? And basically, main aim of relationship management is to achieve a high level of customer satisfaction, right? So we need to create a satisfactory relationship with customers, and thereby we take various decisions, right? So that is what you call the relationship management. There's two parties, right, involved. So we'll just look at it now. Some of the techniques we call this technique we call uh, leaky bucket theory. Right? This is a theory. Yeah, bucket theory. Right? So all organizations are facing this theory. Right? Yeah. All these organizations facing this theory. Right? That theory we call is relationship economics. Right? So when you go for economics, so this theory are going to learn. So we are putting in the banking scenario. Right. Just look at it. If you really look at it, now this is a basket. But every time we need more water into the basket, no, that is what everybody is expecting, right? Okay. Now let's look at it. Think about this is the bucket, this is your market share. Right? This is your market share. Right? And this is what you have to do. Is customers are moving away from your bucket. Right? For customers who switch to the competition. Right? Some people are leaving the organization. Every organization like that, not only for banks. All organizations are facing the same economic relationship issue. Right? Then now some people are leave the market also, evaporation. Some people are not in the market, and here customers switch us from the competitors. Some customers are coming from the competitors, as well as some are moving away from the us. Then, so this is the customers are coming to us. Now, if you really look at it, this principle in here, most businesses are leaky buckets, right? When it comes to their customer base. ඕන එකක් එහෙම තමයි, right? එනවා යනවානේ. අපේ ලයිෆ් එකෙත් එහෙමනේ. කට්ටිය එනවා යනවා. නේ? වහර අප්සෙට් එකක් ගියාම එකෙක්වත් නැහැ. ඒ වගේ තමයි. ලීකි බකට් එකේ ඔක්කොම ටික යනවා. ඉතින් ආයෙ පුරු වෙනවා. Right? Okay. Then what does it mean? Right? New customer is what you call acquisition. The new customers are we need to come to the bucket. Right? That is called acquisition part. Right? Right. So then next one means the strategy is very expensive. Getting to the customers to the bank is very expensive. That of course you're aware, right? What you need to do, we need to educate them, we need to awareness, we have to do sometimes special offers, things like that is very costly. Right? Acquisition is very costly. Then the next one, second strategy simply, right? Close your hole. Don't ask them to go out. Keep your existing customers. Clear? So these are the two strategies we use. That is there are two ways to grow your business. One is increase the flow of the new customers into the bucket. Leave it go. මේ යන ප්‍රමාණයට සමානව තවදුරටත් ටැප් එකේ වැඩිපුර ගන්නවා. අපි ඕක කරලා තියෙනවනේ ඒ ලෙවල් වලද ඕ ලෙවල් වලද හරි කොච්චර මෙච්චර වතුර දැම්මොත් කොච්චර යනවද අර මේ සිලින්ඩරයක පතුලේ උස මෙච්චරයි මෙච්චර බලනයි වතුර දාපුවම වතුර ටැංකියට පිරෙන කොච්චර වේගයකින් පිරෙනවද ටැප් වලින් කොච්චර එළියට යනවද කී දිනකට දෙන්න පුළුවන් It was a කොටුවක් ගහලා වර්ගඵලයේ වලල් කපන වල කපුවම වර්ගඵලය ඉතුරු වෙන ඒරියා එක කොහොමද මතකද ඔයගලා කරානේ 8 9 අම්මාණක් කළා වනේ right කොහොමද ඊට පස්සේ වර්ගඵලය මැල්ලා වර්ගඵලයේ පොඩි එක මැල්ලා අර පොඩි කැලෙන් වැඩි කැලෙන් පොඩි කැලල අඩු කළාම ඉතුරු වෙන වර්ගඵලය මතකයි නේද right so same theory here right so what you can do is improve your acquisition මේ යන ගානට සමාන or otherwise what you can do you can seal this one which one you think is more better මේක වහන එකද ටැප් එකේ වැඩිපුර වතුර ගන්න එකද වහන එක ලේසි නේ right okay so that is the relationship economics called right ultimate goal of relationship is sustainable profitability that how can you do that acquisition and customer retention but retention is more profitable than customer acquisition right so we discussed this relationship business right we first time identified the importance of relationship is creating relation between two parties right and later on we realized this relationship is not enough right this relationship not enough they develop another concept called relationship marketing that is why banks also right have appointed as relationship officers right so to discuss with all this relationship otherwise also sometimes after some time you will lose the relationship right and then they come up with the new relationship that called relationship marketing now you see the famous father of marketing the guru of marketing we call him as Philip Kotler he came to Sri Lanka 6-7 years or 10 years ago right the aim of relationship marketing is to be mutually satisfied there are two words mutual right mutually satisfying spelling mistake long-term relationship with like parties like the entire stakeholders now the relationship you need to create not only with your own customer to everybody who are dealing with you there we talk about the relationship right and then Gumruz 1994 also they also identify the importance of relationship marketing right and then Berry also talk about the importance of relationship marketing so that means what is from relationship to relationship is earlier we had transaction once and for all ඔය ආවත් එකයි නාවත් එකයි එකක් ගත්තා නම් එච්චරයි මට වැඩක් නෑ one right second area is what you call the second business area is what you call the relationships right at least to have some sort of a relationship the different eras now that relationship also we don't want now people think we may have some more than relationship and then the relationship was changed into relationship marketing now if you really look at it earlier can you remember mass marketing mass marketing you buy I'll give you as like it is black cars Henry Ford කිව්වා මොනවද ඕනේ කාර් දෙන්න හැබැයි ඔක්කොම කළු පාට ඔබ ගත්තත් නැත්නම් බලන්න මම කළු පාට තමයි දෙන්නේ right then they change it from mass marketing to product variety marketing right and they say okay කළු කාර් රතු පාට කාර් දෙන්න රතු පාට කාර් දෙන්න පටන් ගන්නවා හැබැයි එකම කාර් එක පාට මාරු කරනවා so they are not satisfied then they go for selling concept or the selling era ඊට පස්සේ මොකද කළේ අරව දෙනවා ඩිස්කවුන්ට් දෙනවා අරව දෙනවා කියලා කොහොම හරි කාර් එක විකුණන්න පටන් ගත්තා selling era then after the second era we talk about marketing era then we talk about අනි ඔයාට මොනවද කැමති මන් දෙන්නම් ඒක first time right outside in approach. Earlier all approach are inside the approach. මට හදන්න පුළුවන් දේ මොනවාද? හරි ඔයගොල්ලොත් ඉන්න සමහර inside approach මේ ආනෝ වට වෙන දේ හදන්න මට හදන්න පුළුවන් මේවා කනන කපන්න නැත්තම් ඵලයක්. ඔයගොල්ලොත් inside approach කරනවා ඊට වඩා වයිෆ් එකම කියනවා නේද? මට මේව තමයි හදන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් හස්බන්ඩ් අහනවා තව එක එක හදන්න බෑ. මේ ඔයාලට මේක ඕන නම් කන්න නැත්නම් නිකයි. That is inside approach. එතකොට outside approach එක ඔයාලට කැමති මොනවද පැටියු මං හදලා දෙන්න outside approach. So you have a better relationship now. මේ පොඩි දේවල් right අර කපාරක් I heard that මේවා කියන්න බෑ රෙකෝඩ් වෙනවා. So therefore I can't tell certain things, right? Is it? That's a problem with recording. Certain things I can't tell all the recorded mindfulness, right? But I can't tell them. So the relationship was deteriorating one Mr. Sarat. He was already and one day he did a lecture for us. He gave a lot good story. How the relationship with the family is deteriorating. Nice story, he said. With the family relationship, just because that was related to the relationship part. So therefore I said, hey, how we deteriorate. Right? Now, Madina would he running the other wrong. Right, on the man not he would love they are it was moving what happened. Now, first come a humble, second come a humble. It was a relationship of put today. That thing. Yamma here. Today, that I want after that time, who is going to get the better relationship? So he created the relationship that other fellows relationship. Okay, now, I don't want to tell you more than that, right? So the relationship built up is not from the individual, from other people's, right? Okay, right now, so in that relationship, right? In this relationship marketing, they look at it three aspects. What are the three aspects we look at it in the relationship marketing? Right? Relationship marketing. So you have a social bond, and then we have a financial bond, social bond, and a structural bond. Right, through the relationship marketing, what we are trying to do, banks trying to do, organizations trying to do. Now we want to strengthen this relationship. Now earlier we talked about transaction, right? What kind of transaction? From transaction it comes to relationship, right? Now relationship we are moving to marketing relationship. Clear? So what is marketing relationship? How we are going to strengthen the marketing relationship? So social bond, financial bond, structural bond. So what is financial bond mean? So we are trying to give a financial benefits to the customer. Right? Some financial benefits to the customer. That is why I am keeping it. Right? I'll give you some more financial benefits. Yeah. Apart from that, I'll give you a social bond. Now, social bond means basically we are looking at it as a social bond. We look at it three things. We call promise, trust, and commitments. So, how you develop social bonds with the customer? Through promise, through trust, and through commitments. Now, banks, we need trust. Right? So entire financial market depends on trust and confidence. Complete trust and confidence. The moment you lost the trust and confidence, what happened? What will take place? We call them as depositor run, then electronic run, first electronic run, depositor run, then bank run. What are these three runs? There are one time we had, run. What is depositor run? What is electronic run? And you heard about three runs. So, electronic run. If you feel the customer feel this bank is no any trust to me, he trying to withdraw money through electronic forms. Electronic fee, you go to ATMs or internet bank, you won't try to withdraw the money. So if something happens in the bank, what they immediately do? They immediately stop all this electronic transaction. Right? The moment you stop all these electronic transactions, what the customer is trying to do? Runs to the bank. That is what called depositor run to the bank. Even say so boom. What you call it? There's some words there, or we call to this what there is a they found the IBSL one who COVID-19 patient. Mala. So what happened? So immediately husband called, hey, you are COVID-19 comes with that. That is electronic form. Right? IBSL occur false bar. My husband was doing physically come to the place. No? Right? Okay, so that is depositor line. So you have seen a lot of banks in your case also one time when this that golden key issue, a lot of people are rushed to the bank to withdraw the money. That is what's called depositor. Right? What is the third one? Third one, now you cannot leave this. So that is what we call bank. Now we had experienced all this thing in the modern Sri Lanka. But you make in a bank run, so bank closed for customers. Right? Whenever we had it. So if your banks having a problem, because bank cannot look after all the customers, they can't give money to everybody. We are open only for 1 day for transaction. They limit the withdrawal of money, only 100,000 maximum they can give. Like that is what we call bank run, right? That doesn't mean bank could do that. So bank closed for operation or maybe restricted operation. So these are the three incidents too. Because of lack of trust and confidence. Okay? Right? So there's no relationship, right? That is why in the relationship marketing, we try to develop the trust. What we do, banks do a lot of things today. Come up with a lot of techniques, SMS time. So build up the trust. What we do? So the moment somebody had done, if you do a transaction to withdraw the money from ATM or you go to the merchant to do transaction, when you have transaction, immediately you got the SMS to your phone. I got somebody else. So you're sure that money I have taken, but suppose you are not go to the ATM, somebody you have withdrawn so much of money, go, Mama me. Right? So you get to know, right? So that is clear. So these are how banks build today the relationships, creating the trust and confidence. So a lot of things we do, right? Confidential, building the trust and confidence, and lot of initiatives, right? Okay, so that is what you call the trust and promise. Promise me. So once I tell you, I will do. Right? And then the commitment. The commitment means from the bank, we take, if you say, I'll give you a loan, so you have to be adhere to that commitment. So bank say, I'll give you a loan, so you have to give. So these are the three ways you can create a social bond. And this is structural bond, mean basically you are involving in, say, supply. Say for an example, a supplier. Now you give some money or some loan for supplier to come up with more what you call more facilities or more output. Right now we also give bridge loans and we give import loan, pre-shipment loan. Why we are giving? To support it. Right? And also now think about Another important thing is these days. Now, in this corona case, and customers are look at it, what my bank going to give me? මේ දක්වා මම මේක සල්ලි දැම්මා. මම දැන් පෙර වෙලා ඉන්නේ මගේ ටූරින් ෂෝල් ලොට් එක වහලා අරක බිස්නස් නෑ. මම මගෙන් සල්ලි ඉල්ලනවා. මම වෙන මුකුත් අහන්නේ නෑ. උඹ ජීවත් වෙනවා කියලා නෑ. Right? So අපි දිනන මම මෙතන නර්මස් කියලා බලන්නේ මගේ දැන් අහනවා එකේ කියනවා. මගේ නෑ now customer also look at it. Now to what extent you are treating you? Right? That is a structural one. Okay, so putting all these things, so you create a better relationship customer. So that means you are more bounding, more binding the customers to us. That is what we expect. So we are trying to do. Then, අපි දුකම මොකද party කියනවනේ කොයි අපි key customers again some small parties get together cocktail එකක් දීලා right? You are doing it for your you are learning corporate banking. So therefore you have treating your corporate customers. No? Itu agree? Of me or someone one other temples even the government bank also send it. They call for some some what did you get that? So how are you get together and all. So why you do? Build up your relationship. Right? There you can talk so many things. Can't talk in official thing. You get to know what is the problem you are facing, and also you get some insight out also. What are your problems? Are you going to politics? Chapter then, chapter go right? When you're talking, I'm going to next time going to a contest. My dad, now what to do? This bug is going to become a customer, right? So, a lot of information you can get in because of the relationship. Right? Okay? Right. This is the relationship marketing. So, we are trying to further strengthen our relationship. Okay? Right now, you know, transactional, then moving to the relationship, and from the relationship, you are moving to the marketing relationship. Right? Further strengthen. Right. Now you see. Okay, now you see, what is this? Have you heard about this word? Have you heard this concept? Wauka mean or VUCA, Wauka, what is VUCA? Yeah, anybody knows what is VUCA? Have you heard about the sustainability? Anybody in the finance department? You know sustainability, no? No, never heard? Sustainability. Annual report is sustainability. It's a separate column. So you are awarded for sustainability reporting also. It's a separate award for sustainability. Right? You heard? No? Financial reporting, CA, chartered account, they give a separate award for bank who we had the sustainability reporting. Right, okay. Now what is VUCA? What is VUCA? Sure. You heard? So we are living in this VUCA world now. So what is V stand for? Volatile. Right? V stand for volatile. So what do you mean by the volatility? Or volatile market mean? Things are changing. Things are changing. Unexpected way we are changing. That is V is volatile. So we are in actually this. Remember this concept, right? This concept originally came from American army, right? This was came from American army, right? Now this American army, you know, when they invaded Iraq and Afghanistan, right? And this concept was first brought by the army guys. Then only later on only these guys are. So we are living in a very VUCA environment. VUCA means velocity. Sorry, we mean volatile. Volatile means basically we say example, speed of change of market, speed of change of this picture of the world, right? And speed of change of you can say industry. Now banking industry is changing all the time, right? And you can say change with market, the industry or country, right? So volatile is speed of change, right? Second is what you call U is what? Gaitana, U is uncertainty. U stand for uncertainty. So what do you mean by uncertainty? Uncertainty means basically uh, you cannot confidently predict something, right? You cannot confidently predict. Okay, you cannot. I think this remember this word, right? You will come across going ahead, right? In your life, you come across in your business. It will come across. We are living in. Some people are saying VUCA, some people VUCA, whatever you call it, right? Some VUCA is the correct, but VUCA came, right? Okay. Now, what is uncertainty mean? You can confidently predict what is going to happen tomorrow, right? That is you. C mean complexity, complex, or complexity, or complex. Now, complexity mean so there are so many variables taken into account, and the variety of variables are changing. They are having more relationship, right? So, lot of things are we need to take into account before we take a decision. So that is what you call complexity. More variables, more factors. In bank, what is the committee which are having complexity? In a bank, we have some committee. A lot of people are involved in, a lot of factors we need to take into account. Those factors are in various magnitudes. In that, what is the committee? I think you know. A lot of people are involved in, a lot of factors we need to think. What is the committee in that? A lot of people are involved. Not only finance, marketing guy, operations guy, treasury guys, risk guys, compliance guys, ALCO, good, ALCO, asset and liability committee. Right? That is a committee you have a lot of those things are keep on changing. A lot of people are involved in that. ALCO is consist of because that is the who decide what about the pricing. So many factors take into account. So many people are involved in. Right, the marketing people will tell you about what is the competitor's issue, right? Then the treasury and the investments guy they talk about how much you can invest, right? The risk guys are talking about the risk if you're going to give this price to them. Compliance they look at what is the regulatory issues on that, right? Finance they look at the P&L, right? Operation guys who want to give the money to customers, they want to start telling what the hell and all. So in a bank, is a Mocha is one important thing is our ALCO committee. Right. So then that is the complexity. So many. Then what is the last one? Ambiguity. What is this? Ambiguity, right? Ambiguity mean what? What do you mean by ambiguity? Is basically lack of clarity. How difficult to interpret. So ambiguity is difficult to interpret. Lack of clarity. So we are living in this type of business environment now. We are living this type of business environment. Okay. Right now you learn some new word, now buzzword today we call them as in the business, right? It's called VUCA environment, and also we look at it, the rise of sustainability. To what extent we can survive we can what you call that? We can sustain, right? Now, what do you mean by sustainability development? I don't know. Very famous now. Everybody's talking. Now, what is sustainable? We want sustainable economic growth. I don't know. What do you mean by sustainable economic growth? We need sustainable profits. What do you mean by the sustainable growth or sustainable profit, sustainable economic development? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by the goal to sustain it? Sustainability, right? What is that? Now we have one know are we there? Now next case come down. Again go. Again come down. So what do you like? You don't want that. No, we want even though at a small growth, you need continuously increase. Right? So that is we are not expecting steep. So we talk about in Corona, people are talking about the economy V-shaped curve, L-shaped curve, W curve. Are they what is it? What is L-shaped? What is V-shaped? We have a pattern of behavior. That is called V-shaped economy curve. Are they? But some people are talking to our governor, our former governor, now he saying we may go for V-shape, no? Already. Huh? That is V-shape. LP, Vaduna, it better in the pond, it is a big L-shape. That is L-shape curve. What is W? Vaduna, put that, I would. So you must know all these economic recovery patterns, right? People are talking about we are expecting V growth, V-shaped growth, L-shaped growth, W growth, like. What Sri Lanka want? We want to have a V-shaped growth, V-shaped growth, right? So we need to understand what is these buggers are talking about, right? What is W? What is L? What are economic recovery growth strategies? Right? So we need to understand all these things, right? And right. And sustainable mean to what extent we can sustain. Now, sustainability development means we try to now that is by Americans. Now, if finance or finance division, that is sustainable. So from our income, what we are going to do? Sustainability means so we need to make use of the today's sources, right, as well, and keep it for tomorrow's people to use it. That is called sustainable. Sustainable development කියන්නේ අපි මේ වෙලාවේ තියෙන දේවල් ගන්න ඕනේ තමයි මේ environment එක. හැබැයි ඒ ගන්නකොට අනිත් උට ඉතුරු කරලා ගැනීම කියන තමයි කියන්නේ ඉස්සර. නැත්නම් අපිට අපි මුලින් ඔක්කොම ටිකලා හොඳ වෙන්නේ. එතකොට ඉස්සරහ උන්ට නෑ. sustainable development නමුත් අරගෙන ඉස්සරහට ඉංග්‍රීසියට ගන්න පුළුවන් විදිහට ආස්ති කරන්න එපා ඔක්කොම ටික එකපාර කාලා. අනිත් උන්ට කියලා කාම. That is sustainability. That is it. I just give a food for thought, right? Sustainable eating was there, and it took that clear up. Now you know that clear up. It is called sustainable eating. Same thing in sustainable development, right? Though we are not expecting come down. So even though small growth, right? So we are living in all this. Now you understood what you mean by VUCA or VUCA, and you know what you mean by sustainability. Now that is very dangerous. Now we are living in such an environment. Now I'll just show you some of the information, but this is not applicable to you. Just to strengthen the magnitude, right? Now you see this. Now what happened here? We think about the economy of Sri Lanka. Now what is our economy? What is our total income? What is our market? What is the Sri Lankan market in dollar terms? What is the Sri Lankan market? The market, some banks are having more than this value, right? Okay, so what is the Sri Lankan market? Is around, we talk about 90 billion market, no? US dollar. But now that 90 billion has comes down to around 284 billion mark. Now it's come down 80 billion mark. Right? We are dealing with 80 billion dollar market. So is a fight current. Right? Now you look at the Sri Lankan economy from 2017 has come down 2019 to 2.3. It's not good. Think about the Sri Lankan market now. Before and after point. Now I just give you all these things for you understand what sort of I want to highlight what sort of business environment we are living. Right? Get some idea, right? Then if you really look at it, what is SDFR now? Standing deposit deposit facility rate is 4.55 point. Are you aware, no? No, right. That is why we can't give customer කෑ ගහන්නේ නැද්ද පොලිය ඩුනා කියලා. හොද්ද නෑනේ. Right? Now I don't know this year budget what you're going to happen for 15%. Senior citizen මාලා අව කරා මුකුත් කරන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක කමකුත් නැහැ මුකුත් කරන්න ඕනෙත් නැහැ. මොකද අපිට සල්ලි දෙන්නෙත් නැහැ බැංකු ආණ්ඩුව ඉන්නේ. අපි දෙනවා මිස. No? So in the ආණ්ඩුව කුටිය ඔය කයි කරොත් හැම කුටි කන්න තමයි වෙන්නේ. ඉන්ට්‍රස්ට් රේට් එකෙන් අඩුව 15 එකෙන් තමයි ගොඩ මේකෙන් ඉන්නේ දැන්. You know what is 15%, no? ඒකෙන් තමයි පොඩ සද්ද නැතුව මිනිස්සු ඉන්නේ. ඕක නැති කොලොත් එහෙම කාණ්ඩ වෙනවා පරිප්පු. Right? බහින්නේ අපිට ඇවිල්ලානේ. right now උන්ට ඇවිල්ලා. Right. Okay, now this is SLFR, right? And you see the deposits, overall deposit is 100%. Now, that means debt, our GDP is now what is the central bank expectation? This year's GDP. Now, have you listened to Finance Ministry now? Modi has reduce our rating for 2 notch, no? Right? Reduce 2 notch. For 2 notch reduce, and thereby we bring down to CAAL, CAA stable. Now after that, Finance Ministry had a press conference, and what they're telling is Sri Lanka is covered. They're doing well. Their deposit, their export has increased to $1 billion US dollars, which was their less around 600 million. Now reached to 1 billion exports continuously for last 3 months, and we have controlled the COVID-19. So why you are downgraded us? They're telling. Now you see the impact we face downgrading. Banks are now difficulty opening LCs. That's the issue, right? Our LC's business has come down. So therefore, so then so the central bank is now, what is the growth rate they are expecting? 0, at least to 0. Now we had in the world, in Sri Lanka, we had only one time, I think, we had -1. Which year? In Sri Lanka's economy has gone to -1 year. That is in 2001 or 2002 under Chandrika's time. Apart from that, our economy has not gone to minus. But now this year, central bank is expecting to at least to maintain 0%. That means no minus, no plus. So that means economy is not growing, mean its impact to us. Because people don't have money from where the bank is doing. That is why we are facing a severe environment, banks. Right? You see? Now GDP also 0. Then our foreign reserves has come down because we need to pay foreign loan for next couple of 3 years. We need to pay around 13 to 14 billion US dollars we have to pay loans. Now IFS not keep, because those countries also not doing well. No, now every time we have something happen the business life cycle, some part of the world is good, some part of the world is bad. That might find if in the world some part is good, some part is bad. But this issue is entire world bad. So from then, ඔයාට සල්ලි දෙනවා තියානේ මට සල්ලි නැතුව ඉන්නේ කියලා අපි කියන්නේ. මගේ බෝඩ් එකක් කිල්ලුවා මම කියන අපි ඔයාට දෙනවා තියා මටත් මේ හල් නැතුව ඉන්නේ කියන. So where I am also bad. So therefore, where are we going to get the loans? We are going to get some money. All place words. So that is why this COVID-19 is very dangerous. Not like any other issues. Financial crisis, Asian crisis, all impacted some areas. Not a fully impact. This is fully impact in the world, right? And now see, so what we are expecting, inflation is going to go up because we have printed some money, right? Because the country thought printing money is okay to look after the liquidity situation. But now we will take. Now we have an impact. Now is now only is coming the inflation impact. During that time, we won't see any impact of printing of money, But there we need money. We had enough money also, no? Banks. Only give dollar, euro, that. So that means activity is not moving to the system. We are good. Now what we do as bankers? Take the money and invest or give some money, So කවුරුත් ගන්න විතරයි. ඊට පස්සේ අපි මොකද කරන්නේ මේ සල්ලි අරගෙන? අපි අපේ ජොබ් එක සල්ලි එකතු කිරීම නෙවෙයිනේ නේ. Now banks having money now. තියනවා නේද? Deposits are coming. Now deposits comes, we have to send this money out to the system. That is why we are going to earn. දෙන එකත් අපි දෙන්නේ අඩුවට. Right? 4%, 5%, 16, 18%, no? Clear. So that is our duty because bank's duty to look after the people. Right. Okay. So see the World Bank, IMF's growth. World is going -8. This world growth rate is developed countries are going at a minus. So where we are going to import? Where are we going to remit? And what I heard, tourism may not open till December. It maybe go till next March. Even somebody told so some fellows has discovered some injection, but to give it to the world is take next year September. Johnson and Johnson had done some injection, okay වගේ but ඒක හරි ගියත් it is come to the everybody. It take 1 year again. So till such time we had to suffer. I think maybe this one is they are going to close till March sometimes. So villa. That is so. So it's dangerous, right? Okay, so we all not at good food, but I'm telling. So under these circumstances, now some of the things I have copied from some site. So all are shouting from where you get the money, what to do, how to do. Lot of problems now. Right? Lot of problems, confusions we are facing. So what is the solution? Especially under these circumstances, now we have to move from relationship marketing to customer relationship management. Right? So now we are come to that level. So it's a hierarchy level. I mean, the evolutions. Sorry, not hierarchy, it's evolution. Right? We are moving from transaction to relationship to the marketing relationship. Now from marketing relation to customer relationship management. Okay? So things are now very much focused. Right? Okay, shall we have a break now? Right, we will continue from this point. Clear? Right, are we okay up the more? I'll just give an introduction, right? And then we are moving to real CRM and CRM strategy and things like that. And next week we may look at it some CRM models and customer experience and how to develop key selling strategy, key unique USPs for our offers, right, and things like that. Okay, I hope you got some idea about what is really, even though we are not seeing this magnitude, so we are not good. Now, okay, I will explain to you after that, right? And there is some profitability issues. I will show some profitability of the banks in Sri Lanka. Right now, you may think what is no problem for us no here. Yeah, right. Okay, I'll show some figures next week, right? I mean the next slides. Okay, so we'll up to this point, I think you understood. Now we are moving from transaction to customer relationship management. Why we need to go to that level? Because our competitions, our market conditions become stiffer and stiffer, right? දැන් ඊට පස්සේ ඔය ඉන්න මිනිස්සයාව දෙයියා වගේ හැදගන්න වෙලා තියෙන්නේ, right? So we have to treat customers, so we need to look after customers now than better than other times, right? උන් ටිකක් උන් බේරගත්තද අපි කියනවා ඒක අපි හිතන්නේ නැහැ, right? So if they are the people who bring money to us, no? ඒගොල්ලෝ ගාව සල්ලි නැත්තම් මොකද කරන්නේ? So that's the issue. Okay, so what time we can come? 20 minutes or 25 minutes? Are it again? Now is 3:22. 3:50? Huh? Till 5:30, no? Balamata. So if we finish early, we can finish early. Right. So we'll come here and 3:50, right? Okay, now I just checked with them about their performance. The problem is you are not there that day. He came low for deliver lecture. Only one student was there at the online. So he stopped and went home. Now he will do afterwards. You can do it online. Yeah, that is what. This is only one or two guys. That is why you ignore it. They were asking, Kusuma, what do you think you was right? Then I asked him, okay, at least you said yes, even just understood. You want to be back there. So he's going to do it. He's going to do it, right? After my 3 sessions, he'll come and do that. Right? I just don't worry, I'll have one question. Yeah? Now I think we just check with me. He's the guy who's doing everything. But I can remember I was lecturing some other thing. Then he said no, he's answering, no, whatever. He get mad and he has to stop and go. Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I saw. I also seen him when I'm on the other side. I'm looking for someone. That is why our people are not used to, you know, one way is good, one way is bad. But what I usually do is I get that name, other side of the things, there's a name, so I call them fellows from names. Even they were answers. Then I asked what you understand. I understood. Then he said, yes, sir. He was like, yes, sir. He was one guy from Mauya for higher diploma in credit management. He is used to ask questions. Every day he was there. So that there are some students also like that. Because he said, so I'm very happy because I can't come here. There's some advantage for them also because guys can't come from here to here to just for 3 hours, you know. So they are benefited. Only come little this Colombo. Right. Okay, so let me start with this. Now I think you are understood, right? Don't worry, performance will ratio analysis and reading of financial statements. Right now, so having understood that, so what we move into the CRM, right? Uh, Customer relationship management. Now it is basically what you. This is a definition, right? This is an accepted definition by the CRM Institute, right? Mm, CRM Institute is given. Uh, right? Concerned with creations, development, and enhancements of individualized customer relationship, right? Three things: create, maintain, develop with carefully targeted customers. Now, there's a word called carefully targeted customers. It may not all customers, right? So we are going to discuss a little later on who are significant customers, right? Carefully targeted customers and customers group resulting maximize their total customer lifetime value. So we are going to discuss about the customer lifetime value, how to calculate the customer lifetime value. Now today we have a lot of software packages available to calculate how much, like now you may, I don't know whether you have learned investment appraisal. Have you done? So that means future cash, project finance and all, you work it out the future cash flows and bringing to the present value after discounting, right? Have you done some things like that? Project finance, you have done it, no? So future income, we will discount it and bring it to the present value. So customers life value also you can bring down to the present value. So you work out average size of your business and then calculate number of years he's going to be with your bank and discount it and bring it to the present value. So thereby we identify what is the customer's lifetime value. Right now there are a lot of software packages are available. Now you don't want to worry much, so you just put it and get the figures. Right now, because since I remember something, the kid also. Now they are now in a position to evaluate individual customers. No? Now we individual banks usually have some credit scoring methods, right? Maybe bank specific, no, but now are you aware on that? Now you can get all this information from right? Credit scoring. So they will do it because they have the figures. Only thing is they must have figures. So only the existing customers you can take it. I mean, where we have taken loan only, but if a new customer you can't get it because records are not there. That's a disadvantage. Now the now if you want to get a credit worthiness from a customer, you can ask from the right? Now we have color coded, say A1 to A3, based on the history of the customer, and then B2 to B1 to B3, and then C1 to C3, B1, and like that. So they say they are recommending B and above is good, C above below is average, right? So you can get idea because that's good one way. Why? Because he has evaluated based on the relationship they had with other banks as well, right? So since asymmetric information, you know what you mean by asymmetric information? Asymmetric information is now if I interview with you, you tell me what positive only positive factors to me only. You won't tell I have followed we have man. That is why we have interviews. So interviews we try to get the things where you are hiding. Now that is what we call asymmetric information. So there, of course, some of the information we are not in a position to get it from the real customer. We can get it from credit, right? So credit scoring method that is 2020 they introduced. I think maybe 2 months time they have introduced credit scoring scheme. Right now, what is the advantage of credit scoring scheme mean? Now you know the open banking. Have you heard about the thing called open banking. No, that's a new thing, new IT development in the world. Open banking. Sri Lanka may going to go for that. Now, open banking means third party will have all this information. Third party, because you have given permission to give to the other parties. Right? Like grid, no, grid was the same, no? Right? Third party. This open banking means that the third party will do for you. So then the role of a grid may be going to vanish in that sense, right? And the KYC also distributed ledger systems. Now in future, the central bank is going to do that. You don't want to keep it separate KYCs. Now all banks are keeping separate KYCs. No? So in future, no point of having separate KYCs. So you can download it. The moment you tell your ID number, you can see it. It's a one common, right? ATM sharing, common ATM sharing. All things are cloud computing. So you can exact and see. So how much of money and how much of storage and everything you can save. Right? I think they are going to implement most probably maybe next year. So common KYC sharing. Then you can't hide. No, all the things are there. They are not to you. So central bank going to do that also. Good things, right? Good things, right? So you can't hide anything, and also easy access. I could the same job they are doing. So KYC, common KIC sharing scheme, right? And now CRM is therefore integrating all things on not only with one of the one aspects, all the other um, through the integrations of all the businesses areas and technology and maximize process, people, technology, everything we are using to give them a better customer service through CRM, right? Customer relationship management we are trying to do. And it is not so easy, because of the think about the number of customers, million of customers are getting all these customers information. It's not so easy, so it's consuming a lot of money and expensive, sometimes disruptive, and may change some resistances, right, within your own staff and other places. But anyhow, so a lot of organization are now moving for CRM offering, right? There are, I think NDB is having a, I don't know about your bank is having CRM unit. NDB is having a separate CRM unit. Right? NDB bank is having a separate CRM unit. All these informations are offered by that particular division. So it's a dashboard. I think HNB is having dashboard. Huh? You have it, no? So you have the dashboard. You just put the date. You get everything in your important points about the customer into the screen. No? That's called dashboard. And I know HNB is having. I do know about maybe PC must be having. No? Definitely, right? Okay, so that is CRM's outcome. Right? History of the customers. Easy to deal with customer service. Right. Now, so this model, so therefore this entire model what we are discussing is basically come up with how to creating long-term customer relationships. Right? Now, why and how? Okay, so answering these two parts. So what is basically whatever said the customer, customer care, everything ultimately boils down to profitability. Right? Okay, now let's look at it. Now this is the central bank statistics. Yeah, it's not there, right? Right? Central bank statistics I have put it down today. So you see the profits during the 2019 and 2020. Now you look at after that profit after corporate tax. Now you look at it 2019 is 111 billion in the market, right? Total profit generated. What do you think? This industry is earning more profits. That is why one time they put a super tax. They go on the shape like yeah, super tax right? Now this time they can come up with some sort of a tax. Why? Because only industry the bank can take government can take money from banks. Because these fee we are only little kind of. Now you look at it even 2020's first quarter, second quarter, the first monthly figures also 59. But what do you think about next quarter? Now, the quarter is just finished. What do you think? What do you think is going the same trend? Or maybe going to end of the year, going to come down? Remember, up to now, up to 2019, there is a growth of profit. Right? Up to 2019, there is a growth. Sustainable growth. And take a thought, you have sustainable growth. The banking sector profits are sustainable growth. Continuously increase up to 2019. Now this year may be, now we had a round figure here, but it's not much impacted, no? Now we are calculating have you calculated the impact of loan because of COVID-19 package, how you call that package? Brand, what is the brand name of that offer? Huh? Yeah, how you brand it? Yeah, moratorium is a common word, no? What do you mean by a moratorium? What do you mean by a moratorium? A lot of people get confused when you call moratorium. They think this is a treat. Yeah, they think this is a free loan. But moratorium means was given some concession fee. It's a holiday payment. So you have to pay after completion of that holiday period. The interest part, they will put it in after your normal schedule time. Right? The moratorium, it is not a new thing. Even we are now giving no. A lot of problems. Then moratorium, we don't know. Even tell me what is the product you are giving debt moratorium, forget about corona. Any loan product, you are giving debt moratorium. Tell me. Huh? What type of loan you are giving? All banks are giving debt moratorium for some sort of a credit. Huh? No. That credit normal loan you are giving debt moratorium. Even we won't call debt moratorium. Huh? Not house. Housing you have to pay over that. Not project. Yeah, projects to some extent, but not all. There are some bridging finance and all, but it's not. But common average person may get loan for debt moratorium. What? Education loan. So now professional loans and things like that, you won't get no, you are given certain period no. So till such time you pay from 1 year onwards. Now other you have income no. Now for education loan or professional loan, right? So you are given some interest rate no. Only you have to pay 2 years or something. I mean grace period can that is moratorium. But why you call moratorium? If there's something happened in the economy, that concessions we call moratorium. But you know, we have our products. We are giving like that. Right? Now what is the interest rate? Now during this period for loans granted, how you call that brand name? Okay, coming out. And what scheme we are giving? That's Saubhagya. What that is Saubhagya. So that's it. That's a brand name for that, right? That's a brand name. Right. What is the percentage you are charging us for? No, that is for other EMDs. All other loans, 7%, no? Now, how much you are given? So you just charge only for 7, no? But you are maybe around 11, so there is a 3-4% difference that you have to bear it, no? So that is a loss. So some banks have calculated, I know Bank of Ceylon has calculated that figures come to around 16 billion odds. 12 billion some banks are. So I'm not supposed to inform all these things. Just keep all the banks. Individually, even though you are not aware, they have calculated because the banks I can show for senior for we are fighting for getting 99%, so 9.5% for that. Now we are charging 7% to give us 9%. Charge 9% for customers. Central banks are actually ultimately we 7%. Now there's a difference of that is the small banks based on their portfolio, they have calculated the amount. So that's a big amount. So this is impact here, but this is not impact their life because that was not taken account. We have 58, around 59 million. So in that sense, if you multiply by 2, 59, 59, 60, 120. Say same. Usually this month, third quarter is the month we get more interest. That's the normal pattern. If you really look at it here, right? So usually you get final year. Third day only you will pay. Because why December is higher profit usually? Because you're going to recover a lot of money to show your balance sheet proper. You spend more money for recovery more sometimes of first 3 months. January or December, right? Now, if you look at it from here, the last year, 111, here 58, to double it, how much? It's 120. That means still you're okay. But I don't think this time may not come. Because still, now only we are just finished what? Moratorium. Now, what do we get right? Now you can see a lot of NPL issues comes now. Month of now we have given further 6 months for tourism. No, I think HNB is the people who has given a lot of money during that we had it at Easter Sunday attack. No, Easter Sunday attack. There's a calculations of loan portfolio in tourist sector. To my knowledge, altogether, the total loans given, not this one, right? During that Mr. Sunday attack, the total loans given to tourist industry is around 255 billion. Total market given to the tourist business. The banking sector, 250 odd billion. Out of that, HNB has given around 50 odd billions, 55 billions to tourist sector. I mean, that's people who are involved in it. As 25 to 30% market share captured by HNB. Now, this time, because it was postponed to next month also, next month to May. So then the recovery comes, issues of recovery. Right now, people still thinking this is a gun. So therefore, bad time, future. Right? I don't know. Not so easy. So profit may be not like this. So therefore, we need to look after our customers well. That is why CRM come into a big role, especially under these circumstances. If you really look at it from individual, see whether your bank is here and profits are okay for your other. Profit, right? These are some of the calculations done by us for individual bank for the first 6 months from the total, right? BOC still got commercial is highest, right? It's around 7 billion profit for 6 months, and then next is Bank of Ceylon, then HNB is 4.6 billion, and Sampath is 4 billion. The card is right, and NDB is doing well anyhow, 2.3 billion, and right, this is the profit figure, right, after tax. These are the individual banks' profit figures. Simply okay, right? This is add together comes to 158 billion. Okay, there are some other banks also, a small amount, 20 odd banks. This is the profit figure. It's just I want to why I gave you this thing to get an idea about what is the normal profit the banks are generating. Okay, clear, understood. Now you, as a corporate, now you are doing corporate banking. You need what is the market profit generated by banking sector. At least get an idea, right? Some idea you have it now, right? So banking is enjoying around year 2019, you got 112 billion, and up to now is 2020 second quarter, around 60, say for example 60 billion. So fairly okay, right? Okay, so individual banks from 60, oh, you have got 6, 7. So what is the percentage? So you calculate like that. 7 divided by 60, how much? Into 100. So you can say your market share as far as the profit is concerned from your bank. You're fine, Chimmy, no? Commercial. All right, commercial. Work out really. 7 divided by 60 into 100, how much? Huh? 7 divided by 60 into 100, how much? 20? කීයද? 7 බෙදුවම 60 බෙදුවම කීයද? හා? 60 7 බෙදුවම 7 60ට කීයද? 7 වරක් 7 49යි 7 8යි. 8 බෙදන්නේ 100 12, right? 12%, no? So 12% is a huge total banking sector. Your profit contribution is 12-13%. That's fairly okay in that sense, right? But my point, no? Right? So you can get an idea about how much we are earning, right? Okay, now why I given this all these things to get an idea about the profits. Now, because now what CRM is trying to do, here, the CRA also contributing to some extent this profit, because you look after your individual wealthy customers by providing the, otherwise now today the business is like that, and the customers also like that. For a slight mistake, the slight something, he may change your bank. They are not bothered about, right? Why banks? All banks are equally provide the same rate. Okay, right. Now let's look at it from CRM, from traditional marketing. What we learned marketing. So how they look at it? Now expand customer base. Earlier we need to know expand my customer base. We need to now what is the target still we are using, but what is the target we see? Number of customers per branch. One of the target we are saying, no? For branch, how many customers? New customers. How many customers are leaving for a bank for one week? How many customers, how many accounts opened per day by a branch? Like say that bank. You all are working for a branch, so branch. So you must be having an idea of how many accounts is open per day by a bank. Average, how much is this? These are the things you must do as a good manager, right? What will be agree with you? Right? Then you know. So what is Bankaran? So if you talk on this, so you get a real respect from others. We all manage traffic would be something like that. Oh, so the move there, so you need that. Move that all over. Right? For a slight mistake, you identify this bugger, don't know anything. Oh, ever kadi. Arad, who kadiya, who teru who retire. Transfer. So that is one of the area you need to know. So at least we know you ask from what is the bank, what is the bank cancer ratio, what is your contribution. So these are the things you can communicate with your staff. I'm just telling you, right? If you have a branch meeting now, so this is the bank deposit rate, and this is the bank deposit we are contributing so much to that. This is the percentage say to your bank Entire bank's deposit base is 100,000, say for 1 billion, or 100 billion. So my bank is giving 10 billion. So you are contributing the 10. You are being proud of the person working for this branch, having contributed 10% to the total bank where we have around 600 branches. Go and go around your moral again, right? So this small thing, would you just get has and also you need to know what is happening. So they will respect you. Oh, he's saying, oh, become respectful. He's a knowledgeable guy. Working under, he's privileged to working under you. You know what I mean? Don't think I understand about it. At that time, I of Patulia, the teacher, I fully pass the program to a man, look at my man. You get it from me over. But I can hear it. Actually, then how you evaluate the person, right? So if you know certain things, you know what to do with the staff. Right now, if you say now first, how many of you all know your roads in the catchment area, your branch area? He done all. Right? Level. So that is what. දැන් ඔය ඒක අහන්නකො පළාතේ ප්‍රාදේශිකාරයෙක් ඌ දන්නවනේ අර පාරේ කොච්චර මිනිස්සු ඉන්නවද මේ පාරේ ඇයි ඒක වහන්න ඌට ඒ පාරේ ඡන්ද කීයක් එනවද he knows උන්ගේ මොනව නැත ඔළුව ඒවට ඔළුව තියෙනවා මේ පාරේ කී දෙනෙක් ඡන්දදායක ඉන්නවද මට කීයක් තියෙනවද ඒකේ උන්ගේ ඒක හරිය very smart නේ ඒකට but they are working for that මේ පාරේ මට ඡන්ද උන්නේ නැහැ එහෙනම් මම කොහොමද මුන්ගේ වැඩිපුර ඡන්ද ගන්නේ same thing. How many of having accounts business with my branch? Right? So we want to penetrate the market. No, we have a small segment. Right? We segment again the so that is what good managers need. Because and manager still තාම brand sector එකේ banking වල තියෙන එකම advantage එක තමයි they respect you all. Even for employee of the bank, we respect people. තාම අනිත් හැම තැනම වඩ වෙලා තියෙන තාම bank එකේ managers and employees still we have a respect. We'll go house to house campaign. Right? At least they open account no. අර මාත්‍යගේ මූණ බලන්න account එක ඕපන් කරනවා. ඊට පස්සේ ඔය ඉන්න එක වෙනම case එකක්. But he at least open an account. So that respect is having for you all. Right? So it's a good thing. Where කාර්යයක් මොනවාද මොනවාද කරන්න ඕනේ. So that is there. So you have to protect. Right? Only this green area only banking පස්සේ මොනවද ඉදල්ල. තාම తీරෝක. Right? නැත්තම් ගණන් ගන්න නැති ගොත් ඉවරයක් ඊට පස්සේ. ඒක you have to maintain. Right. Now expand customer base, increase market share by mass marketing. So that is the marketing thing. But now under CRM, what we are looking at it, profitable relationship with customers. That is why I say don't look at all, but we need to understand who are main customers of my bank. Right? You know the Pareto theory, no? 80-20 theory. 20% of our business are bringing by. Why? 80% of our business are bringing by 20% of customers. Right? Lot of repeat purchases or repeat deposits or repeat business are doing by our existing customers. Right? Not much new customers. Right? Then product oriented view. Now we are looking at from the customer oriented. Moving from mass marketing to mass customization. Right? Then standardize on customer needs to customer supplier relationship. Things like that. Right? If you really look at it further. Sales increase, what we are trying to look at it, loyalty maximization. Now there is a big how today, there's a question mark. Are customers loyal? Lot of question marks now. Are today customers are loyal? What do you think? Your bank customers are loyal or not? thesis එකක් කරනවා නම් මරු topic එක. If you want to do whether your customers are loyal or not. What do you think? Your experience? What do you think? Your customers are loyal? Yes or no? Hmm? No, I'm just asking for your ground level people. What do you think? Your customers are loyal or not? Very difficult to answer. Huh? Now, why I tell you why loyal to one incident. Now, say for a deposit customer. Now, sometimes he may having 2 million or 1 million deposit with you. But because of you, he may take only 80,000, 800,000. Keep it for 200,000 for you. There are instances like that. ඔක්කොම මිත්‍රෝගරනාව මැඩම් දිහා බලන් ගන්න බෑ ඔක්කොම පොලියක් අඩි මැඩම් එවනම් දෙකක් තියලා අටක් ගන්න. That's the loyalty comes. එවනම් සතවක් තියෙන විදිහට ප්‍රාජීවි ඒ ඔක්කොම උන් අර යුත්තේ. Right? So that's the loyalty. That's the loyalty factor. There is a factor. There is some percentage. Not 100% now. There is some percentage in loyalty. That is why he keeps some margin, some deposit with joy. Right? So you need to look at it all this aspect. It analyze but these are the things how many people are. We will discuss all these things. How many people are. That is why CRM is there. Now, manually කරන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් නෙවෙයි. So when we discuss this, we call frequency method, right? I will explain to you how to calculate all this, right? There are some packages available. නැත්තම් ඕවා ඉස්සර මැනුවල් කරන්න ගියොත් නම් ඕවා එක එක කැල්කියුලේට් කරන කී කස්ටමර්ස්ලා 25 ගේ දෙන්න 100 ගේ දෙන්න ඕක කැල්කියුලේට් වෙන වැඩක් නැහැනේ. Oh, those things are available. That is CRM play an important role. Okay, right. Then now customer acquisition, lifestyle management. Right now, you see the objective or the rationale changing from marketing relationship to CRM. Earlier, we look at it customer acquisition, but here we look at it lifestyle management. Then, the life cycle, so then, what are the other benefits I'm going to get from that person? Wife, husband, children, right? Top up loans. So that is what I would have ordained a valuation of no shit, no brand switching. Then, mama, but right? So, if somebody want to bind you, what to do? Some people are do, right? So, same thing you will do it in a bank. They don't have a giving, but I think I had a right? Okay, now that is life cycle management. No option, so you know idea. That is what banks are doing. Put everything to you. And then you have no option. You cannot move. Right? That is why we have a cross-selling, upselling. All sellings are there for that. Okay? Right. Next one, market share, mind share. Now we need to learn, we are talking about 3 shares. What are the 3 shares? Mind share, heart share, then ultimately end up with market share. Right? You know that, no? Mind share, heart share. And me deka apa gua kelima market share. Abi life එකෙත් අපි කරන්නේ ඕකනේ. ඉස්සලාම හොදනවා කියන්නේ mind share. ඊට පස්සේ මේ හදවතට heart share. දෙකම ආපු ගමන් සම්පූර්ණ ඔක්කොම ඔයාගේ තමයි. Heart share. Right? So that is how CRM is doing. To win 2 shares, heart share and mind share. That is what more important. Then only it's become loyal. Survey, interviews, or behavioral information based on database. So we are going to discuss data mining, all things. Right? So later on, how important these things. Right. Now, so it has noted that 33% increase of CRM. Now let's look at it. Some of the benefits, very, very broadly, some of the benefits of CRM. Very broad, right? So CRM is a multifaceted solution. They offer you a lot of solution. This is a straightforward thing. I just go through, right? It's available with your hand out, right? Okay, first one, 360 view. Now, customer, we look at it from a 380 angle, right? Now, I don't know whether have you heard about 360 performance evaluation, right? Some bands are doing for top level, not for everybody. 360 performance assessment. Have you heard about 360 performance assessment? Earlier, huh? What do you mean by 360 degree performance separation? Now, usually your performance is assessed by your boss or mostly boss, no? Only thing is different. Earlier is secret, now he gives to you. That's the difference, no? Earlier, I didn't send you foreign, HR. මෙයා දන්නේ මොනවා මූල්‍ය වල තියෙන ඊට පස්සේ එහෙන් HR එකකින් ඉන්නවනම් මෙයාගේ හල්ලි වර්ෂෙදින්ද සුමාලි යුමාලි our boss එක upset hey now Sumali get upset why කියන්නේ කයි නෝ කියන්නේ කයි why now ඔයාලා මොකක් හරි personally කියන්නේ යාළුවා කතා කරන්නේ Sumali you have some problem with your boss Yumali from that day on was upset this one idea කියන්නේ now got mad that backward with your boss, people boom again. Right? All problems come. Why? Because of your performance evaluation. Nothing else. Now, how you rectify that matter was evaluation, give it to you to see. Here, this is how I evaluate you. Then you have no need to ask him for HR guy because you know what he has evaluate, right? So, when you want to go to Aru Kota Kena, in a Porono challenge. He was in a upset. Then can they know whatever? So he evaluated you. Then you at least you know what he has how he has evaluated. And you can fight whether agreed or not. Okay, the entire system. But there's a 360 degree mean basically is given to you as well as your subordinates, as well as your peers. Sometimes your customers. Now you get the 360 angle now. Look at your performances. Your boss, your subordinates, your peers, the people who are at the same level, or maybe you get the idea from your customers. Suppose you have some sort of relationship with your customer. But it takes time, you know. That's good for only for certain jobs, not all people. But that's with the fair evaluation purposes, that eliminating lot of bias creeping to evaluation process. Right? Like that, so in CRM also, you are not look at it from the customer from one angle, we take the entire picture of you. Right? So that is why the CRM will facilitate, right? Then you have a so then having understood your 360 angle, they can evaluate you every aspect. How frequent you are buying, what is your normal deposit percentage, how you pay your back to installment, everything we will look at it. Okay? Okay, and record it. Right. Then I just go through quickly here. It is easy for you all. It is there in your hand now. But then we will look at it another one. Rethinking process for profits. That means, so they was asked for you to relook at it your processes. Where you can expedite the process. Now, good example. You know the marketing mix element, 7 P's. No? No? You don't know 7 P's? You know? Yes or no? Can't remember now. Price, promotion, place, product, people, physical evidence, and what is that? Huh? People, process, physical evidence. We call them as the extended marketing mix. Now what? The good example you need to look at it. Now how selling for insurance became number one in the general insurance. Number one is earlier the Sri Lanka insurance. Number one, 70% market share. Selling for insurance had only 20 odds. Now they one shot they became number one. How? Change the what? But process. They have changed the process element. They expedite the process, eliminate the process element in the system of claim. What is the process element they have taken out from the process? The claiming process. What they have taken out? We had a process. We need to get a who? Police report to get a claim. Then it is solution. You have to get a police report. Either the police car, everyone will be reporting. And now, एक का काम है claim नहीं होगा, right? That is a normal pattern in Sri Lanka insurance. But what happened to selling co? What they have done it? They thought they have gone through the process of claim process, and they noted, and this is the most cumbersome stage at the claim procedure. And what they have taken out, they introduced concept called what? On the spot. How mortal it is. Now people are not worried about the police car. So everybody is went into that. That is how the selling co get the market. Now everybody is doing the same thing now. Now there's no option for other guys. That is why you see the augmented. Now everybody is giving the same facilities become augmented. And I don't know if you can remember, they have a big campaign going on. I don't know why, copy karane, why others will copy. They call a lot of things. Then suddenly, so they have increased further. So don't wait, call and wait. So you can go to ATM and do them. So lot of things are coming. What they have done? They have changed the processing. Now think about us, banks. How long we take to get a loan? Usually earlier, 5-6 years ago, maybe 7-8 years ago. At least 1 month they have money. Loan honestly, whatever is there. Now, oh, that was taking someone thinking nuance there. Right? So what we have done? So we have simplified or eliminated certain elements in the process. Nothing else. Likewise, now CRM is trying to do, they look at the processes which are affecting the profitability, or cause and effect analysis, or supply chain analysis. Right? We look at it where are the bottleneck and remove out and try to provide a better service to customers. Okay? Right? Okay. So, and this is how we need to rethink for profit. So CRM facilitate to relook at it your processes. Yeah? Right. Next one. When the smarter customers. Now you see, now today people are talking about the smarter customers. Right? Smarter customers mean, because so it's crucial to bank to keep them very costly. Remember, these smarter customers are very costly. Right? Remember that. Bank has to give a lot of things to them. They are the people who ask more interest. They are the people who ask more facilities. They are the people who ask more credit. Not average customers. The smarter customers are more cost to the bank. Right? උන් අපෙන් හැම මොගුලක් මාන්නේ නිකන් ගන්නෙත් නෑ නේද ඩිමාන්ඩි අනේ අර ලක්ෂ දෙක දාන එක උහේ ඉන්නවා දාලානේ මිලියන 3-4 දාන එක දාලා දාපු දවසෙන් පොලිය මැදි අරවා ඉල්ලනවා මේවා ඉල්ලනවා ගෙදරට සල්ලි ගෙනත් දෙන්න කියනවා right no අපි ඉතින් උන්ටම තමයි සලකන්නේ අර ලක්ෂයක් දෙකක් බැංකුවේ දාලා ඉන්නේ හොයන්නෙත් නෑ ඌ යන්නෙත් නෑ අපි හොයන්නේ right so honestly so actually we are discriminating කෑ ගැහුවොත් වැඩි පොලියක් දෙනවා කෑ ගැහුවොත් අඩු පොලියක් now think about your housing loan guys who took a housing loan for 14%, right? Now, how many of them are coming and asking for, now this is the percent rate is around 10%. I have taken for 14%. Can you reduce my interest rate? How many of people are coming and ask from, now there are little increase now. ඉස්සරෝ ගෙනේ දැන් 14 ගත්ත එක දැන් මොන මාකට් එක 7යි. ඊට අපි කෑ ගහලා ඉතින් 8ට දෙනවා කියලා. ඊළඟට 14යි. Ooh, they come and ask, okay, can you give me some concession? Can you reduce? What do you say? You say no or yes? No. What do you think on it? So are you facilitate them? You have to give it. Otherwise, no, not like this. They may go, okay, even they calculate now. They calculate, okay, penal rate or the penalty or fine or whatever your redemptions you alone, there's some amount to, when you work it out, even doesn't matter. I will believe you. Even paying that, straight away there's enough cost, enough banks are there. So he gave me 7-8%. So 14, 5-6% difference. Huge amount. So we need to look at it, all these things. Right? There are some smarter customers. Now how to handle these smarter customers? That is we need is CRM. Right? Okay, so because they expect a more quick decision from bank. Right? How can you provide better decision? Through CRMs. Right. Then one touch analysis, as I told you. Right? One touch analysis that mean, so we put the CLI figure or whatever, so you get history of the customers. That is called dashboards and things like that. Mulu upatti idang history. Right? So that's another important. Segmented marketing. Through use of the CRM, you can segment the markets based on of your usage, based on your frequency of payments, everything. You can segment the market. Clear? Right now, what I'm telling you now, the benefits of CRM is getting to the back. Right? Then regulatory compliance. Now we need to now the regulatory compliance that only the banks are facing high regulatory issues. Right now, because of CRM, right now sometimes central bank is asking how many loans we have given to COVID impacted people. Like in system maximum palanda, right? They know. So the system will facilitate all these things. Here, this is the data. You in a position tell them, put a big dosage. We have given 90 million of, some banks are telling now, we have given 90 million loans to COVID-19 patients and blah blah blah. I didn't hear it. So how they give? Through the CI. Right? Easy to calculate. Right? Regulatory compliance. And transitions to digital. Right? That's the important thing. Greater digital demand customers today. Right? From mobile transaction to online communication. Right now, one important thing happened during the COVID. What is that? So you are compelled to use the digital equipment, so digital channels. Right now, uh, I did some survey, and number of debit cards taken by customers has increased significantly during the last 3-4 months. I don't know how about your banks. The number of debit card issues increase. Now you put conditions, don't come to counter, we charge 10 rupees or 20 rupees, still come no. How much now is the 8. That's it. So we have experience, no? Paisa gano na 8. How much 8? Why? But because of COVID-19, there's no option. So people tend to use this digital. That is why CRM play an important role for you all to catering to those customers. Right? So some banks call them. Are you aware of that? So these are the important things. How are you, sir? What do you feel about your comfort? You're okay. How about your family? So what? Then you are giving personalized call like so I got a call. Even ako, api amo tehwila man kumang modela dini. Bank how are you, sir? About your COVID-19? You need any money? We can deliver. Ewa tanya pi ara honda kungeng kita right. Anik tunde mobile ke wano. Iko mena magesi ka. But at least right now you feel it, no? You feel it now. This is an ideal time for us to be better with customers. Clear? Now we did another survey. How effective your BCP under this situation? You know what is BCP, no? What is BCP? Business Continuity Plan. Now, we have never experienced to test the BCP, like this. We had never experienced. What is BCP? BCP mean when you have some natural disaster, how quick you can start your business. So this is an ideal time to activate, see whether your BCP really practically you can use it. To what extent your BCP is good. Okay, there are it. So you really test that time. Manoman hitan BCP ka kapi trial level karani. But this is a real life situation, to test your BCP, how good your BCP. Right, in the strategic situation like the lockdown situation, how bank catering to the business, because banks not supposed to go, employees cannot go to the branch, but still we need to give a support to it, right? And one thing I want to tell you, because of COVID, people withdraw a lot of money. Now a lot of money came to the bank because of COVID also. It was a salary අරගත්තද වීදක් කරගෙන අරගෙන තියාගත්තා. Then that is why a lot of money comes to the bank also. Remember that, right? We have to look at it, all these analysis, how money comes quickly. කලින් විද්‍රෝ කරපේ ඔක්කොම තියාගෙන ඊට පස්සේ ඒවලම ගොඩා. ඉන්න එකපාරට සල්ලි ආවා. නැතු ඒ මිනිස්සු ඉන්කම් එක වැඩි එකක්. නේද? Right? So think on that, how money comes. Second one is the printing. Right? Okay. Next one. Okay, so design digital, right? Okay, then this is a comprehensive one you want to read. Right, now let's look at it. Evolution of CRM. Right, how evolution, how CRM comes to this level. Like now, in digital, what is the digital era now? We are in D1, D2, D3, D4. No idea. So we heard about D1. Islama with D1, ATM machine, it was a internet, it was a, then what is that? What is the digital era? Internet things, right? Internet things, everything, right? Right? Then ultimately the digital era, right? CRM evolution, there are 3 stages, right? Let's look at it, these 3 generations. Now computer generation, then after phone making one generation. One generation. And what can happen? Generation is smartphone. After the bar, what generation? Fourth again, the hospital playing. So, what generation is it? Fourth again. I'm not sure. Fourth again. I'm not quite sure. 5th generation is in 4th generation, 4th generation. So, young guys must know that which stage you are. 5th or 4th? 5th generation. 5th generation, right? Okay, that is 5th generation. So like that, right? So there may be a lot evolutions, right? The first generation we call CRM, reporting technology stage, that is started in 1960s, the first one, but came to impact really in 2000. Relationship marketing came around 1970s. Not so old, huh? So relationship marketing 1960s. Then the relationship marketing came around 1970s. CRM in the world, coming to the scene is a big scale in around 1999, late 90s, started in 2000. Right? Not so old, these things. Right. CRM reporting technology help organization identify their customers across their application. First they look at it, all this. The first they look at it only the first generation, they look at from the sales guys, sales reps. Right? They facilitate sales, suppose, leading sales, initiated sales. They go into the CRM initiative. Then analysis technologies. There are second one we are going to look at it is how we can offer better service to the customer. Now the third generation, predicting technologies. So we are predict what customer wants and things like that. So these are the three generation usually we call under CRM. There are generation like smartphone 1, 2, 3. Now if Windows then any key then Windows key then. Huh? 10. 10 is but that's the one. You again every time everything come with more user friendly. My generation එකකින්ම කරන්නේ more user friendly කරන එකයි විතරයි නේ. වැඩිපුර features have more user friendly. Right. Evolution of CRM we are looking from here. Reporting, analyzing, predicting. The same thing. This is how the CRM moved from earlier only reporting and analyze customers all data, right, and then predicting. Based on that, we are going for predict the customer, right? Just get an idea, right? Right. Same thing, huh? I'll just go through. Then we look at it the CRM from functional level, customer level, and strategic level. Now everything we are look at it from strategic aspect. Everything we are look at it for strategic aspects. Okay. What are the three type of plan? I'll just ask from you. Need to be prepared by the financial organization, okay, according to the central bank of Syria. Our regulator telling us all banks must prepare three type of plans. It's mandatory. What are these three type of plans? Can anybody tell me? Those are mandatory, yeah? වාරෙම ආයතනයේ තුල සකස් යුතු සැලසුම් වර්ග තුන මොනවද? What are the three plans need to be prepared by individual bank according to the central bank of Syria? I have told one plan already. Huh? Huh? Okay, strategic plan. Yes, that's correct. Second plan? Strategic and corporate plan same. What's another plan? Huh? Huh? Yeah, but still not compulsory. Right? You are given freedom, right? But another plan you need to prepare. That is what I told you. Corona time we can check it. What is that plan? BCP plan, business continuity plan. What is the third plan? That is the very difficult. Sometimes, especially the government bank, are not willing to prepare this plan. Even some of our parties, even for SLFE, Odujana, or UMP, not having this plan. That is why we have a lot of problems. That is why Ranil also, succession plan, good. So nobody wants to prepare succession plan. Huh? And Ranil coming because of no succession plan. Succession plan is the how to enter like this? Who made it? They go no other than succession plan. Why? Problem. Right? But succession plan is a must according to the central bank. These are the three plans mandated. Well, are you aware of that? Huh? Even though you have a succession plan, right? Right? But still you must have a succession plan. But I know the commercial banks, you have a very good succession. Right, commercial bank. That is why Ringa has come to. He's aware. I am going to come the next year. Who is the next year? Why? How can he not be? How can we see? That is why you see how good. So now even you know who is the next guy. So he have worked comfortably. I know that. Right? Then you must. Second guy will prepare for next guy. I want to be a next guy. Going to the replacement chief. Going to the my next succession plan. I am going to go there. So everybody hard for that. Fight hard for that. They run in. So one of them said he's going to be around. Everybody knows now, you see. Right? Okay, so that's good. अच्छा लाओ उसको मिल के मैं बात पानी लिया काम काम क्या ले लूँ කවුද කියන්නේ? මම නෝටි බලන්න. තේවා උත්තේ නැහැ. So why they don't want to create a succession plan? You know, right? Okay, now so everything is working about the strategic level. I want to just to think about strategic because something. Now, before that, I will come back to how to prepare a strategic plan for CRM. Right? Now, before that, we are going to discuss architecture of CRM or component of a CRM. There are three components of CRM. So one is we call operational CRM, analytical CRM, and collaborative CRM. Same thing what we have learned earlier. So we are going to discuss in 3 days. Let's look at it. What do you mean by operational CRM? Right? Operational CRM. Operational CRM. Next time you come with this. I have no. Told me I bring that here. No, not this one. Usually it's having not to be seen. Right. So what is operational CRM mean? Supporting front office support. Now today, in banks, according to the central bank regulation, so we have segregated front office, middle office, back office activities, right? Unless, so in according to we have front office, middle office, and the back office. So segregated all these duties. So to manage the risk, right? So CRM, the front office means business processes, customer contact, sales, marketing. For that, we have some packages, Salesforce automation that we call CF. It's a package. So CF, that means the marketing guys and the sales guys can go with all the lead information about you. So that is provided by the CRM. Right? If you want to go and meet him, you are not just going to meet you. What's your name? Yomali. Yomali, උපත්ති නම් අගලක්ව අරන් තමයි යන්නේ උපාලි. යෝමාලි බඳලාද ළමයි පිළිදෙන කිව්වද තාත්තා කවුද අම්මා කවුද මොනවද කරන්නේ? Everything is well aware. So I am going to go with that information is very big. So I can check whether she is telling me correct or not. Right? I can come up. Don't tell all these things to Jamal. I know where activity කියලා නෙමෙයි යන්නේ. Right? You want to get stuck. But what you are telling, he will propose to you. Right? So that will facilitate sales lead, sales guy. That is we call self-lead. And then CSS. CSS means not only before sales but also after sales. Follow up. Right? Also facilitate. What are the things we are going to communicate in, and also enterprise. Enterprise means for the entire organization. Right? All these are operational CRM. So CRM will facilitate front office as well as back office. Second, provide the following benefits for 360-degree view, right, about the customer. Then each employee from salespeople to service engineer assess the complete history of all customer interactions. So he knows each and everything, goes with all the information. Deliver personalized service. Right. Next, analytical CRM means big data. Right now, bank is full of data now. Bank is full of data. All the information they are from, they open the account. Even for now, banks having all the data. So how many of you are using this data? Right? We are never using it. It's full of data, but why we can't use it? Because we don't have a time and we don't have a technology. Manually you can't do. That is why a lot of companies are offering software, CRM software packages and all. CRM packages, it's the same thing. analyze කරන්නේ. So you can tailor it, or otherwise you can buy certain standard packages and you can adjust to catering to your requirement. But there's a disadvantage is most of the time what happened, why these software packages are not fitting to your organization, you have separate individual packages. The CRM came little late, no? So you have a different packages. But only thing is there's a compatibility issues. You can't fit into those packages to your. System. So that is why problems. Integration is problem. Compatibility is issues. Right? Some organizations are going for a total co-banking solution. Now, the lot of co-banking solutions are now having facilities. Any package can be fit into the system. Data එකතනකින් ගන්න ඕනේ. ඔය co-banking යුත් කරන්නේ ඒකෙන් ගන්න data තමයි analyze කරන්නේ. මම කියන එක තේරෙනව නේද? So the issue comes earlier, different banks having different solutions. එතකොට මේක ගිහලා ආයෙ වඩන්න බෑ. ගහපුව ගමන් එක්ක බෙද දෙකකින් offset වෙනවා. Now that is why a lot of banks are again going through again the new co-banking solution. Now new co-banking solutions are given freedom to any other packages to fit into the system. ඉස්සර හරි අමාරුයි. Because ඉස්සර එච්චර technology නැහැ. හුඟක් local banks වල වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ඒකයි. ඒකනේ හුඟක් බැංකු තායි. Because you know the co-banking is a costly. Around how much you think cost go for co-banking? It's costing around 2-3 billions. It's කජුවට cost එක නෙවෙයි. ඉතින් ඔය co-bank එක 2-3 billion දාලා හදන්න shareholders ලා කැමති වෙනවා. High risk. ඉතින් හුඟක් වෙලා try කරන්නේ පැච් දාලා. පැච් දාලා hero වුණොත් අපරාධ. That's the issue of why a lot of banks are not much moving to the proper CRM, because the existing co-banking facilities are not facilitate put all these things. ඒක තමයි මේ නැත්තම් මේ packages තියෙනවා. But new banks are going along with this. So they are very easy. Now, good example for Sampath. Sampath, why you usually call them as little technology? Because they recently, whatever said that 25 years can be activate. Sampath is recently, NDBs and all are recently established bank. Now commercial, all banks are, they had for last so many years now. So therefore, easy for them to apply technology-driven solution than old banks. And one fact is the database is huge. It's not so easy that way. අපි කියන තරම් ලේසි නෑ ඔය එක සිස්ටම් එකකට ඇගිල්ලක් ගහන්න ගිහලා මොනවා හරි වුණොත් පුතු අර ලයිට් ගියා වගේ තමයි. ලංකාවට ලයිට් නැහැ. There's a classic example that we are going to do some modification to some place. No, it will all happen. Right? Even ගහන්න ගියා පේනව නේද? Right? ඒ උතරක් නැහැ reports එකක් නැහැ මොකුත් නැහැ. Right? කමක් නැහැ. So this is happened. So they have found out. So there's something wrong in somewhere. Okay. Then you look at the benefits to the customers. So you can have a segmentation, because that is analytics. Analytics mean customer information. Right? So you have a nice database. You can do a lot of things with this database. Right? I don't know, banks are not using much. That is a bad side of the database, big data. Right? Okay. That is why fintech is going to come. Sri Lanka, but fintech guys are heavy users of big data. Right? Okay, now you know the fintech companies offering cloud banking, cloud loan, right? So they are offering loans now. Other countries, shape central banking block, right? IPO, you know what is IPO, no? Right? Blockchain, invest. like BPO, sorry, right? Okay, so collaborative in CRM use information collect for to other people to use it. Collaborative disseminated all this information collected from um, about the customers are giving to others, right? So these are the three areas, C main component of CRM. What are the things? First one is we call uh, operational, analytical, and collaborative. Okay, now we move into some types, right? We move into the CRM strategy, right? Now, what is strategy? What is strategy? Huh? No, not plan. Plan is a program. What's the strategy? How we are going to achieve our objectives, right? Right. How we are going to achieve our objective is strategy, right? What are the objectives? Now, how many of you all know about the strategic plan? Have you heard about the strategic plan? No. What are the three components of strategic plan? Formulation, implementation, and evaluation. Right? Formulation mean, what does the formulation mean? First one, vision, mission, values, goals, objectives. Where are we want to be? Mission, values, goals, objectives. Where are we want to be? That is the three main component. Right. Second, once you have done, okay, then how to be there? What is that? How am I going to achieve my targets, objectives, goals, and all? That is strategies. Right? That is strategies. Where are we now? That is my situational analysis. Where are we now? You pestle, you sort, you McKinsey 7Ps, Michael Port analysis, whatever, balance scorecard, whatever. You need beta analysis, scenario analysis, whole analysis are you are trying to find it out. What is your present position? Then, where are you want to be? That is my long-term goal mission. How to be there is a strategy. Right? Now, what is CRM? So you are going to come up with how CRM facilitate achievement of organizational objectives, goals, and all. Okay? There are it, right? Okay, so CRM strategy. So therefore, I just give an understanding about what is strategy and what is objectives and what are goals. Right? Clear? Clear? Fine. So we are learning little bit of what strategic management also, no? Because of CRM. Okay. Right. Now, CRM strategy needs to be developed based on bank objectives. Remember. So now another one is just to give some idea. Now HR. So you have an HR planning, HR strategy, right? It has to be more in line with your corporate strategy, no? Otherwise, it's not a good strategy. So I tell you on the exam, you know, you have to understand. Now think about you took a business strategy, open 10 branches, for example, 10 branches in 2022, 21. Next year you are going to open 10 new branches. 5 people to 1 branch. How many people you need? 50 people. That is That is your strategic overall organizational goals or objective. Clear? So business is objective. Now, how your HR guys support this corporate strategy objective. So that is the HR guy's job. Is to see whether how am I going to get 50 people. So then comes the strategic HR comes. Okay, what I'm going to do? I'm going to promote existing people, who I'm going to get outside people, who I'm going to transfer. So you need to develop your net part which support your corporate objective. If your strategic HR is not good, you cannot fulfill your corporate objective. Yeah. And hello, cut me that, or not? Branch is there, but where should it? Why? Your strategic plan will not support your corporate, right? So that is why strategic plan is for an entire organization. There are subunits who have to support this. Now, likewise, then IT guys must, supply guy must procure all these table, chairs, IT equipments. I can't be branching in it. The premises has to build the house. Right? Different department, marketing guys need to come up with some marketing campaign during that area. Right? That is why once you have the corporate thing, other supportive divisions must support to fit into this corporate objective. Likewise, CRM strategy need to be understand your bank's objectives. Right? It has to be fitting to the corporate visions and corporate goals. Okay? Right. Then without a strategy CRM program, what we plan and execute. Right. Next, well-planned strategy will bring up to the bank's profit customer satisfaction. You can say, okay, how much you're going to make a profit? So then how much you are going to make profit to my customers? This customer base. That is why we are categorized retail base, corporate customer. Likewise, you categorize. Some banks are categorized based on the area. Some banks are categorized based on the type of loans categories. Exporters, importers, one way. Other one is corporate customer. That is why sometimes you have a DGM for corporate lending. Sometimes retail lending, personal banking. No, so they need to concentrate on that area. Okay. So what is the CRM strategy? Establishing, maintain strong relationship with customers, because that is his strategy, right? Like others, HR strategy. What is the job? What is the HRM guy is? Find out people, keep it ready, keep the talented staff ready for put it to the 5 branches, and give adequate training, educate them, right? Develop their talents. That is the HR guys. Here the CRM guys is how to create a strong relationship with customer. That is his strategy. කොහොමද මුන්ගේ මම තියාගෙන relationship එක වැඩි කරගෙන තව business ගන්න කොහොමද? Right. And also says CRM strategy should be aligned with organization missions and objectives and goals, whatever. Okay? Right. So let's look at it now. What are the characteristics of a sound strategy? First one, alignment with organizational goal. Okay? Right? First you need to understand what is your organizational goals. Based on that only you need to prepare your goals. Right? So strategic plan, because the CRM cannot be prepared without knowing your total organizational goals. Right? First you need to know what are your organizational goals. And then you try to develop your CRM strategy to achieve your overall organization. Right? එතකොට මතක තියාගන්න. So corporate goals, right, is important to play for any business. ඒකටනේ අපි supporting ඒවා යන්නේ. So we need to understand the corporate over. Now you know, um, now according to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, I'm just telling you some of the things you need to understand, right? The Central Bank of Sri Lanka, you know, outsourcing. You know outsourcing? Have you heard about outsourcing? What is outsourcing? Certain specialized areas you can, which was done by earlier internal people, can be outsourced. Can everything outsource? No. What are the things according to the central bank guidelines you cannot outsource? You cannot give to third party to do. Now, say for an example, sending FD statements, renewal notices, branch audit, and sanitary works, then securities, transport, can outsource. HR can outsource. Yes or no? Feeding of ATM machine can outsource. So you are doing no? Sorry for HDB heavily doing no? Outsource, no? But certain things you cannot outsource. What are the things you cannot outsource? Audit can outsource, but branch audit only. Not internal audit. Now, branch audit you can outsource. Well, why branch audit outsource? Because if your internal guy is going to do the branch audit, එකක් කරලා ආයි පාරක් මුං ඉන්නේ අවුරුදු පහකට පස්සේ. එතකොට හොරාලලා අමාරුයි. Right? That is the reason they have branch audit central banks even outsource. So, I mean, then you branch internal auditing ඉන්නොනේ 500ක් විතර audit කරන branches 500ක් තිබුණා. That is why they outsource branch audit, but not internal audit inside. What is you can't outsource? Few things you cannot outsource. One is risk management. Third one is compliance. Fourth one, forex dealing. Forex risk and strategic plan. Remember, you cannot outsource strategic plan, but you can get the support. You can get the third party supports like any audit firm or MTI or constant consultancy or BCGs. You can get the support, but plan has to be prepared by your own office. Otherwise, it's not belong to you all. So that is why it's not outsourced. You can get the support. Right? Remember, third certain things categorically mentioned the circular 12 of 2009 or 10, I can remember, by the central bank. So what are the things you can outsource? What are the certain things you cannot outsource? Right? Outsource one of the things you cannot outsource is preparations of strategy. Clear? Understood? No? I just want to tell you that is why strategic plan is important today. And every organization need to prepare. What is the period usually you prepare? I think your bank is having, your bank is having, every bank is having a strategic plan. You know that? But how many years usually you prepare a strategic plan? When we small, strategic plan is prepared for 10 years. When we come to some age, strategic plan was reduced to 5 years. Now today, strategic plan is 5 years too long. Now is how many years? 3 years. Now every bank need to be prepared 3 years, right? Not 5 years. Why 5? Why 3? Why strategic plan need to be prepared for every 3 years? Even 3 years too long. But what to do? Why? What is the reason? Why strategic plan to be prepared for 3 years? Come on, simple. Now we discussed earlier. Bauka, muka. Why is that? Because the environment is keep on changing. So you cannot plan for such a long time. Right? So that is why we are telling if you are set down, settle back with another circular you are. Now you know that. You have done corporate governance. Then what are they going to do? Corporate governance. What are the objective of the board of directors? Oh, I don't want to. Like, yeah, how do you think governance? Something like that. Who's who taught you this corporate governance? Syllabus, right. Right. What is the way? What is the duty of a board of directors? Come on. Oh, one of the objective, one of the duty of a board of directors is to ensure that senior management or the corporate management has to be prepared the strategic plan for organization, right? Board of directors to approve that strategic plan. Why is that? Why board of directors has to certify, approve the strategic plan prepared by the senior management? What is the reason? Hey, you know, I can know that. Right? Why? Why you think board of directors has to, so you know the according to the corporate governance, board of directors has the full, it's the order of the bank, right? They are responsible. You can go, you hear that? It's not basically a board area also. And so they don't have a board of directors. One time they are them back. They are fully responsible for smooth functioning and activities of the bank. ඒක කිව්වනේ. ඒක කිව්වෙත් නැහැ. ඒක කිව්වේ. ඉස්සල්ලාම මොකද objective එක? Responsibility of board of directors. Ensure that organization establish a proper strategic plan and oversee that strategic plan is carried out by the senior management. හරිද? මම කිව්වනේ. මතකයිනේ. ඇයි? Because that is the important thing. Why they had to be approved by the board of directors? Why? According to the new rules, the board of directors has to approve the strategic plan of the organization. Why? මොකද senior manager කරන්නේ? උන්ට පුළුවන් achieve කරන්න පුළුවන් විදියට target දාලා හදලා තියෙනවා. board එක අපිට so we achieve. Give me salary, give increment. Right? Now, board of directors is duty to see whether the set strategic plan by the senior management is appropriate, applicable, good based on the present situation. That is why we need to have a proper, educated, fit and proper board of directors. Right? Okay. I will give you one exercise and stop today. I will continue. Right? Now think. Okay. Now I'll give you an example. Good example. Right. Now I'm always taking. Don't worry about you all. Right? Now say you are a board of directors. You all are board of directors, right? Yomali is liability manager. Deposit guy, right? When you join HNB Yomali, commercial, yeah. Who is having? Who is your liability deposit? Who is the deposit liability manager? Called or deposit current account agent? No idea. And okay, so Yomali is the manager liability. Liability means deposit manager. He is take the responsibility of. Are you ready? So you all are here. You all are board of directors of HNB. I don't know. Yeah. You board of directors. Yomali liability manager. Right. Now I think you know. Now this is your deposits, H&B deposits. This is yours. Now when you joined your money? 2005. Okay, no problem. 2006. I'm ready. 7, 8, right? Okay. Now is 2019, 2020. Work for 15 years, Yomali, at HNB as what? Deposit? Sorry, commercial bank. So he's bought into water bank. Good, right? That's the ownership. As liability manager. Okay. When Jomali joined the bank, when Jomali is buying, the HNB is having 10 billion deposit. Take for an example. Now, Jomali is having 100 billion. Now, your board of directors, huh? And Jomali joined 2005 at the time of commercial bank deposit is 10 billion total deposit. Now, 10 years, Jomali has increased that 10 billion into 100 billion. Now, Jomali take this information, go to the board of directors. You are in front of that. Here, gentlemen, ladies, and gentlemen, now see, I 14 years I've been working for Petty Commercial Bank, but still I am still at a liability manager. I need AGM. Now, what do I board of directors agree? Are you promoter or not? Simple question. Your board of directors and commercial bank. So, what do you think? Are you promoting her or not? Tomorrow, more looking at the So, forget about all these personal issues. Tomorrow, you know, so forget about everything. So, you don't know whatever. No? Based on the performances. What do you think you are giving or not? No, you keep quiet. Now, you are a board of directors. No, no, you know, yeah, lazy, how I did that thing. So, what do you think? Paula agreed to give her promotion based on the performance, nothing else. What do you think? Whether it's a government bank or private bank, we are all a human. No, and what is something? You have to what they know that. What simple question? See, promotions 10 to 100 billion. For the enemies. Why they not? Together. The farmers are power. That's the numbers one. Target, how much does it achieve the target? Yes. On the first like of what? She said, yes, she has achieved the more than the target. Good question. Now, board did ask questions. She answered it. Yes. Yes, I also confirm. Yes, achieved. Now, okay, you want to go down? We wait till next time to do the wording. Okay, I leave it here. Think and come next time. Whether she want to give the promotion or huh? Okay, Gaza also good. Okay. So now you have a think your mind, right? And this is strategic management and corporate governance. Right? Okay, think and come next Saturday we will discuss Whether to give more? No, you have 1 week more to take a decision, right? Okay, see you. Okay, I think you understood, right? Okay, so we'll have some more to do. I want to cover this part today. But I told unwanted things also. That's why it's not covered. So see you on next Saturday, right? And see with the first we start with that answer.